Good afternoon, chat. Good evening. Actually, hold on. Can I hear myself through here? Oh no, hold on. There we go. Okay, there we go. I was wondering where I couldn't hear myself. All right, chat. Hello. Day 9. Day 9 of Kouri. Actually, you do day 9 of Kouri Richins. Day 9, Kouri Richins trial. We'll see where this goes. I don't know how much worse it could get for Kouri Richins, but apparently it will. We have like the walking the dog note and all this other stuff still coming in, but yeah, so far it's been nothing but an unmitigated disaster. We saw all the shit she tried that her sister-in-law had to stop. We saw the text messages. We saw her search history. Like, whoa, it's just hit after hit after hit for this woman. I don't understand why she, yeah. So, yes, Christy Noam is a bimbo. Yes, she is. But hey, she's out of the way now. Mark Wayne Mullen's coming in. Somebody who's like, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting how he handles stuff. But yeah, let's get started. It's time to get rolling. Will we get rid of Pam Bondi next? I don't know. And Ariel for 12 months been a member. Thank you for the support. Saying yay or yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hold on here. Why is it Leighton Gay? Yes, thank you. Greetings, my fellow N-word enthusiast. Yes, I know. Thank you. So let's see here. Is Pam Bondi a sore spot for midterms? A lot of Trump stuff's going to be sore spots for midterms. Like everything's going to be a sore spot for midterms. I'm just saying. So, anyways, let's get started. Here. Did someone say inward? Yes, inward facing, just reflective. That's what we're talking about here, chat. Oh, there we go. Assassin Actual says, now I can procrastinate my paper due tomorrow. Well, there you go. Remember, as I always like to do, you type it all single space, and then when you get to long enough length, you go, pa-pow, double space, and it was like, and you're like, it was magic. It was like magic. So, also, somebody was asking me, nope, this is all here right there. Ain't no thin in there. Ain't no modoxanil massages going on there. Ain't no demoxanil massages. But anyways, let's get going, chat. Let's get to this. All right. So here we go.
Bloodworth, anything before we invite the jury?
I don't like how it's so quiet.
Ms. Lewis, Ms. Nestor, anything? Okay. And we're starting with Ms. Bramwell, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's invite the jury in, please.
Still got the Recordings logo. Yeah, except I'm actually in the thing. Also, just look, I trimmed my beard up for you guys tonight, chat. Nobody noticed. Look at that. Trimmed up my beard. Can we watch it on 1.75? Yeah, I think some of these witnesses, we'll see. Nika says I watch these 4 times on replay. Well. Oh, wow. Corey's in like just the top today. Interesting. No sweaters. So here we go. Chat. We'll do a banner here. There we go.
All right, jury.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. If you could state your name and spell your last name, please.
Marie Bramwell, Bramwell.
What do you do for work?
I'm an attorney.
What kind of law do you practice?
Domestic relations.
Does that include divorce work?
Yes.
And is your practice located in Heber?
Yes, it is.
I want to turn your attention to May of 2021. Were you doing that same law practice at that time?
Yes, I was.
And what is the name of your law firm?
Gordon Law Group.
What is your firm practice related to when you're starting an attorney-client relationship, when you would collect a retainer payment?
Oh, shit, chat. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Okay, we'll. That was weird. Don't know. I had to reset the computer and lost a bunch of tabs. So it was a bunch of work I had saved up that I was working on. It's all gone for the show. So, oh well. Let's keep going.
The retainer.
What's the approximate cost for that retainer?
It's normally $5,000.
What is so you mentioned after that initial consult? Is that consult typically done in person?
Yes, it is. Typically.
And would that retainer agreement or the retainer payment be collected then after the initial consult?
Normally it is, yes.
Do you know Kouri Richins?
Yes.
And have you met with her?
Yes, I have.
Was that on May 3rd of 2021?
That sounds correct.
Did you have any other in-person meetings with Kouri Richins?
I don't believe so.
Did you, after that initial meeting, did you subsequently exchange emails with Kouri Richins?
Yes, we did.
Did you ever meet with her in person again?
I don't believe so.
You emailed with her approximately 5 times between May of 21 and January of 22. Does that sound about right?
That sounds correct.
And she emailed you about 4 times in that same time frame. Does that sound right?
Yes, that sounds correct.
Other than those communications, did you speak with her at any other time?
I don't believe I did.
If someone decides not to move forward with your firm in an attorney-client relationship manner for any reason, would a retainer be returned to them?
Yes.
Scott, if we could show the witness exhibit 4-20, please.
That's pretty normal.
Do you recognize this? If you could scroll all the way down for her, Scott. I don't know. Oh, it's my screen. I'm sorry. You can see the whole thing.
Yes, it appears to be a check issued from Gordon Law Group.
And is the check made out to Kouri Richins?
Yes, it is.
We'll move to admit 4-20.
Oh, no.
4-20 is admitted.
And those are all my questions for you.
Ms. Lewis.
Okay, could you pull up States Exhibit 4-18 for the witness?
This is getting interesting. That was a
Yeah,
very
that's
quick.
Yes, I do.
And is that
That was a
the,
very quick
file
thing to
that you
show
used for
she
the
was
Gordon
getting
Law
ready to leave
Yes,
him.
it is.
Group? And
Interesting.
can we publish that, or can I move to admit it and then publish it?
No, Josh.
4-18 is admitted.
Can you pull up case? Okay. Yes, maybe I should step up here. What they used to be. Okay, so according to your bio, you practice law also in the areas of water law, boundary issues, easement, and property issues, correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That's all we have. Nothing further.
Just one question. Were you doing those types of cases in 2021?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so it was just the domestic relations then at that time.
Primarily.
Thank you.
Ms. Lewis, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, may we release this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Randolph, thanks for your time. You're free to go.
So, like, what was the point of that? Not a whole lot, chat.
Your Honor, we have a phone call that we would like to play. It states Exhibit 2-95D. We've laid the foundation for these calls through other witnesses.
We object. I think these phone calls need to come in through a witness, and I know this phone calls between 2 particular people, and they haven't admitted it through any witness. I think there will be witnesses coming up that they may be able to admit it through, but I object to it being played at this time.
Would you approach for him?
So, hold on, chat. Trying to rearrange some stuff here real quick. All right, sorry. That was very kind of quick. Does the prosecution think they have them? They just don't want to screw up, pretty much. But yeah, it shows that they were getting ready to. It shows that she returned the check, and yeah, it shows that Kouri wasn't going to divorce. She decided to kill him. So that's kind of what they were showing there, just with the timelines. Remember before the judge said, I don't want all you guys up here, but now he's letting them up there.
To sort out. If I sort them out.
So here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a couple of legal issues I need to sort out. If I sort them out now, it will make the rest of the day more efficient. I appreciate your patience. Please rise for the jury. I think this would just be an easier way to have the conversation that we were having. Go ahead and complete your thought regarding jail calls.
Well, there's hearsay in this call also from the other party, which
That will be true with every call. And so we'll need to come up with an instruction for the jury about how they are to treat the other side of each of these calls.
All right, well, I guess our objection is that these calls could and should be introduced through an actual witness. Playing them randomly, I think is confusing for the jury.
May we stay focused on this particular call for a moment to tease out your position on that? So this is 2-95.
I'd like to look at that again, but I also think that
Hold on, I wasn't finished with my
Oh,
question.
sorry.
My apologies. This is 2-95.
Yes, sir.
What was the number again?
295D.
295D.
Okay, so 2-95D, as I understand it, the state is seeking to play now because it relates to Ms. Richins having contacted Ms. Bramwell. Is that fairly stated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I think I understand the state's position. Playing it at any other time and then directly following Ms. Bramwell's testimony would be confusing. That's what I'm gathering from the state's position.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So take it from there, Ms. Lewis.
I'd like to. I haven't looked at this call in a couple of days, so I'd like to look at it. But I also think by introducing these things without a witness on the stand is a violation of our Sixth Amendment right to cross-examine. When we introduce these randomly, we can't cross-examine anyone about these calls.
Well, are you talking about foundation or content?
That's not going
I'm
to
sure
work.
that it's not
Are you
I made
talking
this
about
argument
cross-examining
before.
regarding
It doesn't
foundation
work.
Or content.
content.
Well, content, the part that's being admitted for the truth, is your own client's statement. So the confrontation.
I mean, this is the thing. I've made this argument before, and it's a fucking losing argument. But Your Honor, it's a Sixth Amendment right. It's like, but your client's speaking. It's like, but Judge, and you're like, yes, Judge, it's killing my case. Please don't do it. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie.
Problem doesn't exist there. And if we instruct the jury not to consider the other half of the conversation for the truth, there's no confrontation issue there either.
Well, if they were to call the witness, who is the other half of the conversation, and introduce the call through the witness, then we would have an opportunity to cross-examine regarding the phone call.
But not if the other half of the call isn't being admitted as substantive evidence. They're not admitting the other half of the conversation as substantive evidence of anything. And moreover, I'm going to be instructing the jury that they can't consider the other half of the call as substantive evidence.
That's horse shit.
I think I have to under the hearsay.
Your Honor, I still believe that we need to have the call from a witness. If they were to call the person who testified, the person who's on the other half of the call, then we would have the right to cross-examine them about content of the call. And we don't know what that evidence would be. There may be more to this call or more context to this call that the individual can explain. By just randomly playing calls, we don't have any opportunity to cross-examine anyone or do anything with these calls. And then the jury just takes these calls as without an opportunity for us to put in any explanation about these
Yeah,
calls.
I feel like you're intentionally ignoring the fact that I'll be instructing the jury to not consider the other half of the call. But I understand your position, and you have to acknowledge that you have the power to subpoena the people on the other side of the call if you want to. But let's stay focused on the half that the jury would be allowed to consider from each of these
I'll be
calls,
right back.
and that's
God
your
damn it.
client's own statement.
I need a moment to look at this call again. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. Is that all right?
Of course.
Might take me a minute.
Can I see it at the same time?
Um,
There was something that was on the screen just now.
yeah, so I'll send this to Scott.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. This is just the transcript.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. It's from court.
They sent it to us the other day.
We're gonna tease.
No problem. And then somebody else on your team is going to provide me and opposing counsel with the transcript of Ms. Gibson's testimony.
Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah.
I was getting you that you want to see the exhibit itself first.
Forgive me, somebody flashed it. I think Katie flashed the content of the call on the screen. And so if Ms. Lewis is looking at it, I'm going to be in the dark if I don't see
Okay,
it at the same
Scott, you
time.
publish the content of the call. And then we'll,
We'll go to the next piece.
gotcha.
Thank you.
Can we just play this portion on without the audio?
Do you have a written representation of what's being said?
It's at the bottom.
Oh, I see.
It has a scroll text at the bottom, Your Honor.
Let's do it. Give me 1 second. We'll all be on the same page here.
Oh, hi.
Did we lose audio, Scott? Would appear that way.
I turned it off. I wasn't
Oh,
sure
okay.
if you
No,
wanted
that's okay. I misunderstood.
I can't see it.
That's true. I can fix that.
Thank you.
All right, Scott, if you would play it without the audio for a moment, I appreciate it.
Yes, coffee, bland coffee. The jury is not in the courtroom while they're reviewing this transcript. All right, guys, I cleaned up my mess. Give me 1 second.
And what
Ms. Lewis
process?
can respond. The president of the call. Thank you. Forgive me for the record, and so the defense counsel can respond. The probative value of this is
Your Honor, it goes to Ms. Richins' state of mind. It goes to her intent about the marriage and what her thought process was in seeking counsel from a divorce lawyer.
okay. All right. Ms. Lewis, I understand defendant's position regarding hearsay. Anything further regarding foundation or 4010203?
Yes, I think that the call needs to be further redacted. I mean, I stand on our objection, but if the court's going to let it in, it needs to be further redacted. The first part of the call is not relevant. I'd have to pull it up again. I can work with them about the parts, and I think the last part. So I think there's some at the beginning that needs to be taken out and some at the end that needs to be taken out. If it's going to come
Be
in.
specific.
And what basis?
Well, if I have it up in front of me again, I can be.
Well, let's have a larger discussion. This was on my to-do list, not necessarily for today, but I've been waiting for defense counsel's final word on the jail calls pursuant to the pending motion regarding the jail calls, and I don't have it yet. At some point, I'll need defense to say what their position is regarding each of the proper jail calls.
Okay.
So this is the one that's coming up now, but at some point we have to come to closure on that issue, so we're not
Understood.
doing it in real time. How do you want to proceed from this point on this call?
If I could just maybe look at it with the state and point out the first part and the last part and see if we can agree that that needs to be
That's
out of the
fine.
call.
Okay. You want to do that now, Mr. Bloodworth, and then address the other issues? You want to do that now and address the other issues during the lunch break?
Well, Your Honor, I think the other issues are going to come up way before lunch.
Understood. Okay.
So if agreeable, let me propose maybe Ms. Lewis and Ms. Shervinack could address that in parallel. Me and other defense counsel can address.
We're fine with that.
Okay. Among the defense team, who is taking lead on Mr. Wright and Mr. Case?
That would be
I have Mr. Wright, Mr. Ramos has Mr. Case.
Perfect. Sounds like this will work. Okay. Ms. Lewis, would you work with Ms. Shervinack to see if you can reach agreement regarding some further redactions to that particular call, 2-95D?
Yes.
Okay.
And just for the record, that we're not withdrawing our objection, but this is coming in. That's what I thought I was.
You're not withdrawing any of your objections.
No,
Right.
we're not.
I understand.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Bloodworth, the state will be calling Kouri Richins and Josh Case today, correct?
Correct.
Pursuant to the court's ruling in order denying state's motion to reconsider and admit excited utterance, there are portions of their proper testimony that have been excluded by the court. There are other portions, though, that I imagine the state's view is should come in under other exceptions to the hearsay rule. Have you, can we just talk about practicalities for a second, had a conversation with Mr. Wright and Mr. Case so they are aware of the limitations imposed by the court?
Yes, Your Honor, I've had that conversation with each of them, and to reinforce it during the examination, I will ask questions kind of in the form of, without saying what Mr. Richins said, what was your impression?
Okay. Will the state be eliciting any testimony about statements made by Eric to either of them?
No, Your Honor, the state will scope its questions to elicit responses about what was their impression of Mr. Richins' demeanor and what, if any, advice did they give Mr. Richins?
Okay. Ms. Nestor, that creates a pretty good safety margin between where the proffer started, and it sounds like where it's coming in terms of making sure that the witnesses don't unintentionally say anything that's excluded by the court. Anything further on that issue?
No, sir.
Mr. Ramos?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. That handles that.
No, guys, I'm sorry. I knocked over a box of shit back behind me. I had to pick it all up. So it's just a mess everywhere. No, it's all coming in. Now, this is a big issue when you have the witnesses where it's like, don't say anything that could affect, like, that could be prejudicial. You heard Bloodworth say, like, I've talked to them. They know they can't. That's the funny thing. Even when, like, the prosecution witness is a detective, they'll still screw that up. But you know, that's one of the ways you can get a mistrial is like, look, judge, we told them not to do the thing and they did the thing we told them not to do. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so these phone calls are coming in. I think the court, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. It's what happens when you talk all the fucking time and make phone calls. Eventually they come in. So yeah. So anyways, here we go. This is what happens when you huff glue. Yes, exactly. So group your poop. Well, your poop should be in a group. You shouldn't just be like pooping all over the place. It should be like in the toilet. SAR.
When's the next time a jail call is going to be offered by the state to your current expectation, Mr. Bloodworth, understanding that this is dynamic?
Your Honor, the next time I anticipate
Sitting here today.
sitting here today right now
Yeah.
is during Detective O'Driscoll's testimony.
That was my expectation as well. When's he taking the stand?
Your Honor, he will be most likely the state's last witness, probably late Monday, early Tuesday.
Okay. All right. And so
Remember,
the reason we're doing this call
I'm not
now
joking,
is
guys. You run out of ink in your pen, mistrial. You accidentally misspell on your notepad. Everything's a mistrial, but they're not going to get it. But yeah, everything is a mistrial. Yes. Oh, I think he said, "Ooh, when are they almost done here?"
Sitting here today.
Sitting here today right now
Yeah.
is during Detective O'Driscoll's testimony.
That was my expectation as well. When's he taking the stand?
Your Honor, he will be most likely the state's last witness, probably late Monday, early Tuesday.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. And so
Okay.
the reason we're doing this call now is for proximity to Ms. Bramwell's testimony.
It is, Your Honor, and the state appreciates that the broader set of jail calls is unresolved and kind of anticipating this. We emailed this 2 days ago to defense to kind of start the process of resolving it.
All right. I'm going to give Ms. Shervinack and Ms. Lewis an opportunity to work for a few more minutes. I'm going to use the restroom. So we'll come back at 10:15.
Yes,
Any
sir.
objection, Ms. Nestor?
No, sir.
Okay. We're in recess until 10:15. Thank you.
I mean, the part that's bullshit is, oh, we let the defense know 2 days ago about this. It's like, you guys should have been on this a long time ago, unless Kouri Richins literally just made a phone call that like earth shatters everything. But well, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The prosecution always gets to do whatever they want. That's always. You're like being the youngest child when you're on defense. You never get what you want. You know, they're always good boys who do nothing wrong from the prosecution. So let's see if we got any more. God, how long is this judge going to the bathroom for?
Sure, that short
Okay.
period. As
Here we go.
the state page and line numbers from the beginning.
Previous to this
Here we go.
finds out at the end.
There we go. Jeez, he took a long bathroom break. Dude had to go.
Were you and Ms. Shervinack able to reach an agreement?
We reached a partial agreement.
Okay. Well, tell me where we stand.
They're going to redact a few lines out at the end of the calls, which I don't know. We agreed to redact the things at the end. At the beginning of the call, I believe we should redact everything up until page. Do you have the transcript?
I don't.
No, that's not the same
Sounds good.
judge.
Yeah.
And Judge, so you know, there have already been some redactions made previous to this discussion for other things that were irrelevant, so those are included already. So you will see some redacted portions of that transcript.
Okay. Whatever you're sending to me, will you copy Ms. Lewis?
I have it.
Same thing at the same time.
Oh, I already sent it to you, and she has it that I sent earlier. It's the same.
Got it. One moment, please.
Once. It was still it was a dismissal. It was a mistrial. And it got dismissed with prejudice. So like I couldn't get with prejudice. The judge was like, no. And you know, they let the prosecutors, you know, he dismissed it though to make him understand he wasn't very happy. They came back, refiled everything. You know, we gotten into trial and they filed everything again. They acted like they were going to go to trial. They came to us with the deal, and my guy was like, you know, if we went to trial and they did it right, he was probably going to get convicted. So we kind of took we took a good deal and ran with it. So yeah, he's out of prison already. He's been to prison and out. So yes, I've had like one of them, but yeah, there's normally times where the judge is going to sit there and bitch out the prosecutor, but he's like, At the end, it's like Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, Judge Schroeder sits there and fucking screams at the prosecutors and Binger and Lunchbox, and then what happens? I'll allow it. So, it's disheartening. It's disheartening.
Ms. Lewis, if you would just state page and line numbers from the beginning of the call that you think should be redacted.
I believe it starts at page 2. I believe we should redact starting line 15 on page 2 through line 4 on page 3.
Is that it?
That's it.
Are we still at the... Also, just to remind you, chat, here's at one time speed.
Okay. I'm not sure that short period adds anything, provides any context, has any probative value. What am I missing?
I disagree, Judge. For starters, it does directly from Ms. Richins say what her state of mind is going into this call, her annoyance, and in her tone of voice when you hear the audio, there's frustration there, and it does add quite a bit of context, particularly in the beginning of the call. And then, in particular, she says on page 2, starting at line 21, I'm just like so fucking annoyed. Like, what the hell does anything have to do with anything? And that gives context to the rest of the call, because what she's referring to is what does Eric consulting a divorce attorney have to do with me consulting a divorce attorney? Well, she goes on to explain, but that sets up the context for the rest of the call, in addition to her frustration, annoyance that's heard in her voice as well as in her words at the beginning of the call, giving context for the rest of the conversation.
Yes, let's go ahead.
Your Honor, I disagree that that's necessary. I don't think the beginning of the call gives any context to what they're talking about. And if the state just wants the jury to know she's annoyed, she says it numerous times throughout the call. At the beginning of page 4, she says, like, what the hell? I know. I just, like, am so annoyed by that. She says it numerous times. And yes, you can tell by her tone of voice that she's annoyed. I don't see that the beginning gives any context whatsoever.
Yeah, I guess that's my question. Ms. Lewis, why aren't we just starting at page 4, line 1?
Well, actually, I think that would make perfect sense. And when Ms. Sherman and I were going through this, I actually asked for more to be redacted, and I compromised a bit. But now that you've reminded me, yes, I actually think it would make sense to start at page 4, line 1.
Where, out of the gate, Ms. Sherman actually describes being annoyed, and we go from there.
I disagree, Your Honor. She's talking about the Heber thing on page 3 at line 5. She says beat around the bush. Obviously, what I'm thinking about, she's talking about the Heber thing.
The Heber
goes
thing is
both
different
ways.
than Ms. Bramwell and Ms. Miller.
No,
Tell me how.
the Heber thing directly refers to her meeting with Ms. Bramwell in Heber.
Oh, I don't think that's clear from the text of the call. If I was confused about it, I think there's a pretty good chance the jury would be confused about it.
I disagree.
I know, you've been very clear about that.
See, the funny thing is, this is where he's like, it's like when he told the defense attorney, I think you're intentionally not understanding me. She's like, I disagree. He's like, no shit, you're disagreeing with me, but I know what you're getting at. And then Nova Dexter for 10 Canadian dollars. That's 10 loonies, chat, or 5 toonies. Says, don't cry over fat jokes or swallow them and laugh with everyone else. No E-Daddy here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for the super chat. Didn't have to do that, but thank you. And then Roving Walks, or POV Walks with the Roving Cyclops. It's good to see you, man. It's been a little while. Hope you're doing well. Says, the last witness of the day is a bit of a fox. I'm confronting my own racism in real time. Get ready for some quality leering. All right, we will. Not sure what we'll be leering at, but okay. I'm amused you know what a toonie is. Oh, yeah, of course I do. 5 toonies is not $10. Well, isn't the toonie 2 Canadian dollars? I mean, isn't that? Well, how much is a toonie? Because you said 10 Canadian dollars. A toonie. Yeah, it's a $2 Canadian coin. You did that in $10 Canadian. So, that's what I thought. I mean, is it not? I understand it's not like American dollars. I said Canadian dollars. It's Canadian pesos. I understand it's like $7 Canadian, but I was talking in Canadian money, trying to respect it. Culturally sensitive. Well, let's get on with this.
Anything else?
Just that this is important context for the whole call, and starting it partway through does not give the context that's necessary to understand what starts on page 4 at line 1.
Anything else?
It's relevant, Your Honor.
I understand. Anything else?
No.
Okay. We're going to start the call at page 4, line 1. Anything else, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Court rules that starting the call
Big
at
L.
page 4, line 1, and then including the redactions that counsel have agreed to in the body of the call and at the end, provides probative information regarding Ms. Richins' state of mind and backward-looking reflections regarding her consultation with Ms. Bramwell. That probative information, the probative value of that information is not substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice or any other Rule 403 considerations. With respect to defendant's hearsay objection, Ms. Richins' side of these recorded calls is categorically not hearsay, and the court will instruct the jury that they cannot consider the male voice side of the call for the truth of the matter asserted. Rather, they can only consider the statements made by the male on the call for the effect that they had upon Ms. Richins in the conversation. Any further objection, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
In terms of instructing or just providing the jury for context, I'm inclined to tell the jury that Ms. Gibson testified that she preserved some recordings of phone calls involving Ms. Richins. You are about to hear one such phone call. Any objection, Mr. Bloodworth?
No objection, Your Honor. Are we good then to, as we discussed at the bench, have Ms. Shervinack just give the date of the phone call?
No, Your Honor.
It's not in the content, and Ms. Gibson didn't provide that particular piece of foundation, so that would be additive.
Your Honor, if we were to play that portion of the audio of the jail call, it would make it clear that it was a jail call.
Oh, forgive me. I haven't heard or seen the introductory portion of the home wave call. Does it
Right, Your Honor.
state the date?
Yes, every home wave call begins with a time or date.
It does.
And
Okay.
then, this is a recorded line, and anything you say will be preserved, could be monitored, and admonishments like this.
Is that accurate, Ms. Lewis?
That's accurate, but this takes me back to my initial point is this should have been, and typically would be introduced for a witness because the witness could have just said the date and we wouldn't have this problem. I don't think that the state should be testifying to the date.
Right, but if Ms. Gibson had just said, in order to avoid playing any of that for an indisputably authentic call out of custody in front of the jury, I think it's in fair and necessary balancing to not play the preamble of the call, which would limit your ability to cross-examine Ms. Gibson as to how she knows when the date of the calls, because it's based on that same content. And so I think it's appropriate and does not violate defendant's rights in any way to just state what is undisputed. December 18, 2023, correct, Mr. Bloodworth?
Oh, that's correct, Your Honor. I also think the date falls, because of the way the calls are labeled, the date falls under Jeremy Thomas's certification as to the authenticity.
I understand. I think you and I see it the same way. It's just a matter of the defense's good faith objection to me providing the information, but given the alternatives, this is the best way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One more
Please.
pragmatic
Yes.
question. Because the court's decision just redacted out the initial part of the demonstrative, it seems to make sense to the state to, at this point in time, as a matter of efficiency, to just kind of fast forward and hit play beginning at page 4, line whatever the court just decided,
Yeah.
rather than take 15 minutes to redact the exhibit now, and then at the end of the day, we can redact it and clean it all up consistent with the court's ruling.
Is Lewis, you okay with that? You're not waiving any objections.
I understood. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Scott's way ahead of us.
All right. Scott, why don't we take a look at it together? Show me the new version of 2-95D. Well, the text is correct. Scott, let's try the audio.
Your Honor, we can't see it.
My apologies. Oops, Scott, go ahead. Yep.
Obviously, what the hell? I know. I'm just so annoyed by that. I'm what the hell are you talking about? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Obviously, if one party's going to do it, the other party's probably going to do it to see what the fuck.
Do you want to fast forward to the end just to confirm, so Ms. Lewis can confirm that the stuff at the end has been redacted out?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I did not take anything for redactions at the end.
Okay. I can.
Yeah, if you would work with Scott real quick to make sure that the stuff at the end gets redacted out.
There you go, guys. That is 100% a jail call. People are saying what the fuck and screaming at each other when they're not having phone sex. This is 100% what's going on. This totally. I am Jack's lack of surprise here. So here we go.
Hey, you know, you said say it's redacted. It's the way it's being offered includes redactions. Yep.
Okay, Your Honor, I have this ready if everybody like to do it again.
Let's do it. Table 2. Okay, if you fast forward to the end, Ms. Lewis, let's make sure that the redactions you spoke with Ms. Shervinack about have been made.
All right, I have the audio on my speaker. Let me change that over real quick.
Okay.
Obviously.
What you say no to?
So yeah, I don't know.
They found, like I said, they found out about it, but guess what? You know, so did he.
Exactly.
So it's everybody's natural reaction to wanting to defend themselves.
That's correct.
Okay. Give me one moment. Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, Ms. Shervinack, anything before we invite the jury back in?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis, Ms. Hester? Okay, we're ready for the jury.
And guys, this is some of the shit that sucks when you're in trial. You have to do shit like this on the fly. And, you know, like this stuff happens. This stuff happens. It's not like this is kind of the live TV aspect of it. And it sucks, especially like when it's a serious case like this, you're scrambling to get like, you know, this. Normally, a lot of judges are like, this judge is pretty laid back, but a lot of judges are like, this shit should have been sorted out like the night before or something. So I'm surprised he doesn't really get on anybody's ass too much, which I kind of like. I kind of like him being laid back.
She downloaded and preserved recordings of certain phone calls involving Kouri Richins. You are about to hear one such phone call from December 18, 2023. You may consider Kouri Richins' statements on this recorded call for any purpose. You may not consider the statements made by the male voice on this phone call for their truth. Instead, the only purpose you can consider the statements made by the male voice on this phone call is for the effect it had upon the listener, that is Kouri Richins. Scott, let's make sure we are ready.
And that never happens. That never happens that way, chat. So
Go. Okay. 2-95D is admitted. Please proceed.
Obviously. What the hell? I know. I'm just like so annoyed by that. Like I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Obviously, if one party's gonna do it, the other party's probably gonna do it to see what the fuck.
Right? And it's like
common sense.
You know, regarding your side of stuff, nothing came out of that. What came out of the other side?
Exactly.
Oh, illegal transfer, everything.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
A lot came out of that.
Yes, I just went in for a consultation. That was it.
Yep.
So why is that so bad? Am I misunderstanding something?
No, it's just something they're going to try to
I'm not reading the phone
probably
call.
settle against you, you know, for no fucking reason. Because
He did it first.
What? Yeah, he did it first. And not only did he do it first, like, he actually took action on it illegally.
Yes. All I did was, what the hell am I supposed to do? That was literally the conversation.
Yeah. Yep. So,
It's my right to
that
do.
person's probably going to be right.
And
That person's probably going to be brought in,
which is perfect, because you know what I told that person?
which is
I don't want to fill out the packet. I don't want absolutely anything. I want to walk away clean and free. I don't want anything. And she kept advising me, no, that's not how this works. You have to fill this out about da-da-da-da. And I said, I don't want to. I don't want any of it.
Yep.
That is what I told that lady. I said, I just want to be done. And
Yeah,
she argued with me forever. I took the packet, I threw it away. I'm like, no, I won't fill this out because I don't want to have
So-
everything.
I mean, right. So that's perfect and works in favor for you for everything.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm just like so fucking annoyed by it though. Like, quit portraying me to be this person.
Yeah.
Anything you're trying to say I did, Eric did. Like, so now they cancel each other out, the fucking idiots. Like,
Yeah.
protecting myself, like,
Yeah, I wouldn't get I would get too worked up about it.
yeah, I'm not, but that's getting an idea. I am going to ask if she can testify.
Well, that's not really gonna matter because she just gets subpoenaed. And to be honest, if their attorneys don't do it, yeah, you're going to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just annoyed. Like, I said,
Because they're gonna try to paint this picture. They're gonna try to paint this picture and like, oh no.
yeah.
No, here she is. What do you ask about? What do you advise her? What do you say no to?
So yeah, I don't know.
They thought about it, but guess what? So
Exactly.
it's everybody's natural reaction to wanting to defend themselves.
Counsel, the state's next witness, please.
Becky Lloyd.
Ms. Lloyd, if you step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury?
Thank you so much.
Guys, I don't know who the Robert Darting guy is. It might be another boyfriend or something. The bigger thing I think shows here is you could infer probably what the state's probably going to say is by the time she got arrested, she just wanted to give it all up. So.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you could state your name, please, and spell your last name.
My name is Becky Lloyd, Lloyd.
Where do you work?
I work for C&E Stonemasonry.
And how long have you worked there?
I've worked there 5 years.
What is your current role with C&E?
I'm currently their estimator.
What's that mean?
It means C&E Stone, we put stone on houses, and my job is to figure out how much we need on those houses.
What was your job back with C&E when you first started with them?
I got hired originally as an admin.
And when was that?
That was in February of 21.
Did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How long did you know him for?
I met him sometime around 2017.
And what about Kouri Richins? Do you know her?
I do.
And did you meet
Same
her
time.
around the same time?
Yeah.
In 2021, what was the nature of your relationship with Kouri Richins?
I knew her as a neighbor. I knew her as the mother to my children's friends, and I knew her as my own friend.
I want to turn your attention to December of 2021. Was there a conversation that you had with Kouri Richins in December of 2021 that stood out to you?
Yes.
What was the date of that conversation?
December 17th of 2021.
That's a specific date. Why do you remember that date?
Because I keep a journal and I have photos from that date.
What were you doing that day?
We were doing a Secret Santa gift wrap for C&E Stone. We get presents for families in the neighborhood that don't get a good Christmas, and we were wrapping them to give away.
Now, when you say we, was that who's the we?
Me and Kouri.
Okay, just the two of you then?
Just the two of us while we were wrapping, yeah.
Was there a topic of conversation that came up related to Kouri Richins' marriage?
Yes.
How did that come up?
I had recently gotten divorced a couple months before, 3 months before, and she was asking me how that was going, and I was asking her about how her marriage was going, and her and Eric had a fight that day, so it was definitely on the top of her mind.
What did Kouri say to you?
Kouri had an opportunity to go to a work event of some sort, like a Christmas gala, something like that. And it was going to be a really good opportunity for her career. She was excited about it. At the same time, Eric had booked a sleigh ride with the family for Christmas, a good family activity, and they had a scheduling conflict, and they did not agree about what they should do for that scheduling conflict.
What else did Kouri say during that conversation about her marriage with Eric?
She talked about how she was feeling trapped. She was feeling like there wasn't an easy way forward out of the marriage. She felt like she was worried about her kids. She was worried that she was going to lose them and that Eric was going to take the kids from her and that his family was going to turn the community against her. And she said that in many ways it would be better if he were dead.
What was the tone of Kouri's voice during that conversation?
It was serious. She definitely had a very serious tone. We weren't really joking. It was a very honest conversation and a very heartfelt conversation. You could tell from her body language that, she was frustrated and she was struggling with where she was at. Serious tone.
What was your reaction to Kouri saying it would be better if Eric were dead?
To me, it really signified just how far their marriage was off track and how serious the situation was. And I felt bad for both of them. That's a heavy conversation.
I don't have any other questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Lloyd.
Good morning.
My name is Kathy Nestor. I'm one of the attorneys representing Kouri Richins. First of all, I want to talk to you about how you got the job with C&E.
Absolutely.
Look at her. She's like, what do you mean? You're taking it all. She's like, Dark Side Phil. It's all out of context. It's like, Kouri, it's not really out of context, dude. Like, do you really think this is all out of context right now? Come on now. Like, maybe it is, but that's why you don't say these things. Like, you need to be very fucking careful about what you say and who you say it around. Like, god damn. Like, This is just, it's a lesson in keeping your mouth shut.
Isn't it fair to say that Kouri helped you get that job because you'd just gotten a divorce and she was doing something nice for you?
I would say Kouri helped me get that job. Yes, she let me know that it was available and definitely made sure that I knew that it was an option for me.
And she was a reference for you to her husband, Eric?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. And when you were working at CNE, during the time that Eric was alive, Kouri was actually on the payroll, right? She got like a paycheck.
You're like, is it fair to say that she made you? You're being disloyal.
Every couple weeks.
That's true.
Right. And isn't it also true that right after Eric died, she called and said, don't send me anymore?
I believe so, but I am a little fuzzy on that memory.
Okay. But at some point she came off the payroll.
Correct.
Really quick after Eric died.
I would say so.
All right. I want to talk to you about the conversation on.
I mean, while you're in the middle of a divorce, yeah, be very fucking careful. Just be smart about it. The problem is, if she had just said that alone, nothing probably would have happened. But she said it along with a million other things, Stacey.
December 17th. And this was, as I understand you, Kouri and Eric every year did a Secret Santa project where they gave less privileged people anonymous Christmas gifts, right?
Absolutely.
And so you were there wrapping those gifts?
Yes.
And you were having girl talk?
Yes.
And you're somebody that she trusted?
Yeah.
Because you had confided in her about your marriage?
Correct.
And the fact her husband had been unfaithful?
Correct.
And she felt safe and talking to you about similar things like that?
Yes.
Okay. And when you were at this meeting, let me look at the date, just 1 minute. A couple of weeks after Eric died, you gave an interview about this conversation you and Kouri had.
Yes.
And you gave it to a private investigator that worked for the family of Eric Richins, right?
I actually don't remember if it was at that time, but I do remember in a meeting with him, yes.
April 6th of 2022 at your house. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
All right. And this gentleman who was not law enforcement, he's a private investigator, right?
Yes.
And he came to your house and you told him about this day that you spent with Kouri, didn't you?
I don't remember, but I assume so.
All right. And isn't it fair that in that first interview, you never mentioned anything about saying it would be better off if Eric was dead, did you?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then you had a second interview almost 2 years later in March of 2024 with the same investigator. Is that right?
Sounds right.
And then the investigator said, wait, I understand you've talked to Katie and there was something you forgot to tell me the first time we met about a statement Kouri made.
That's true.
And what you forgot to tell him was this part about it, he'd be better off dead, right?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it fair that in the second interview in 2024,
This is
2
very
years
good
after,
cross.
you even in that interview told him that you couldn't get on the
they're going
stand for
after
sure
her.
and say that she said that, didn't you?
I do not recall that.
Okay, Katie, can you please play the clip BL1, if we could cue that up and play it for her to hear?
Cue it up. And let's make sure we're all talking about the same thing. My apologies. Do we have a foundation issue here, Mr.?
Yes, I don't know what they're referring to, and if they're seeking to refresh her, then I believe that should be handled slightly differently.
Yeah.
No, I believe she said she didn't say it, so I don't think I need to refresh her. I think I can impeach her at this point.
If you would just approach for a second. Get some water.
I do have
If you need more, stick around. No problem.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
Apex, how you doing, man? It's funny how their coaching comments are super explicit. Yes. No. Okay, Maddie. Yes, I have been listening. They're pointing out you weren't listening. Like they're going after her. Unless you've already watched this. So far, it's actually not been a bad idea here. So I don't know what the hell you're getting at. Oh, you should have everything? Okay, cool. We'll take a look here. Thank you, Apex.
Okay, so would you say the number one more time is necessary?
Yes, Your Honor. We are going to be playing a clip that we have marked. We're not going to admit it. We're just going to impeach with it, but it's BL1.
Okay. And let's see, Katie, let me get you connected here.
she said it, but I also feel like if you put me on the stand, I would not be confident enough to actually truly know if she said it. But I swear she said, in many ways, it would be better if he just died.
Is that your
Because, and I remember thinking, the reason
is that your voice? That is my voice. All right.
And you did say that you wouldn't be able to swear to it on the stand, didn't you?
I wouldn't be confident in that. Yes.
Okay. And then if we could play the second clip.
Yeah, well, and like I said, that's the conversation we had, and I for sure know she said the trap stuff, and I am 90% sure she said the comment about it being better dead.
Okay, so again, that is the second interview that you had with the investigator, and again, you're saying you can't say for certain that she made that statement, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You also never told that statement to the police when you were interviewed by the police, did you? Until later, much later, like 2024.
I don't know if I got interviewed by the police in 2024.
Okay. All right.
All right, chat. Afix has got us kind of what we were, once again has come through with a massive freaking dub here. We had closed captioning and better audio, so we're going to level this out. And once again, guys, tell Afix thank you very much. I appreciate it. Once again, Afix, we got to figure something out for you, man, because this is gold. Wait, just look at her face. She's like, that's not true. She's like, it's not true. She's like, stop it. Quit lying.
And say something that I don't know as truth.
Are you confident in your testimony today?
I am.
Those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now it's your testimony that you were told about this statement by someone else?
No. My testimony is it is very difficult to say such a thing when someone that you care deeply about has been leveled with such charges. It is very difficult. So that is why it didn't come up in the first interview. It is a very difficult position to be here on the stand saying things like this. I don't want to be here. No one has supplied my testimony to me. No one has made me say anything about that. No one has supplied words to me. I know that happened. And it is unfortunate that it happened because I don't want to be here saying it, but I know that is what was said.
And in fact, the friend you're talking about is Kouri Richins, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Didn't you discuss this statement with Kouri Richins, and Katie's the one who sent you to the private investigator?
Katie is the one that made the private investigator aware of it, but that is not who I had the conversation with about it as far as the truth of the statement.
But you did have a conversation with Katie about it.
I did.
Okay. And then you also had a conversation with some other friends who helped refresh your memory about what you might have said?
They confirmed what I said. They did not supply a sentence to me. They did not do anything like that. They just helped me do a hard thing.
Okay. And who did you tell about this statement prior to reporting it, besides your friends and Katie and the private investigator?
What do you mean?
Did you tell anybody else?
I told my friends. I told my partner. I told the investigator, Katie. I don't recall who else.
Okay. And this was all in 2024 when you brought it up to the investigator?
My friend conversation would have been in 2021, right about the exact same, probably within a couple days of that conversation initially with Kouri.
And you would agree that if Kouri was planning to kill her husband 60 days later, it probably wouldn't be a really smart thing for her to say to you, hey, it'd be better off if he were dead, would it?
Now make your objection that the question is complete, Ms. Sherman.
It doesn't matter now.
Okay.
Go ahead, you can answer.
Say it again, please. I'm so sorry.
If Kouri Richins was planning to kill her husband in about 70 days after she made that statement to you, it wouldn't be a really smart thing to tell someone like you, hey, it'd be better off if he were dead, would it?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Do you have an opinion about that?
Same objection.
Doesn't call for speculate.
It's sustained.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, even that opinion would be speculation. Yes, that's correct. I'll go with that one, Judge. You're right.
Did you ever ask Kouri directly, what did you mean when you said that to me on December 17th?
No.
You never gave her the opportunity to explain whether she was just venting, whether she was joking, whether she was serious?
Unfortunately, no.
Right. And you had a long time to do that before you reported it to this investigator, didn't you? As a friend.
I suppose so.
Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Lloyd, when Kouri Richins told you it would be better if Eric was dead, was she joking?
No.
What was her speculation, Your Honor? What was her tone?
Object to speculation.
Hold on. Let's pause. Yeah. The question regarding what she was thinking, or was she joking, pardon me, is sustained. Can't consider the answer no, because this witness can't know what's in another person's head. You can ask her about her demeanor.
Sure. What was her tone of voice?
Serious.
Was she laughing?
No.
Was she smiling?
No.
Did you have any reason to believe that she was joking?
No.
One last question. Were y'all drinking?
We had one beverage. I had one beverage.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Maybe allow this witness to step down.
Yes.
All right.
Chief, please advise.
I got it. Thank you. If you're called back, you'll get notice. In the meantime, please don't talk to anybody about your testimony. Please don't watch any coverage, read any coverage, listen to any coverage about the case.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Please travel safe.
Thank you so much.
Counsel.
Your Honor, the state calls Gabe Morin.
Okay.
Gabe. Uh-oh. Not that Gabe.
Sir, if you'd step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn in, please.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Hello,
What, sir, is your name?
Gabriel Morin, M-O-R-I-N.
And what do you do for a living?
I own a restaurant over in Camas.
And sir, is that the Mirror Lake Diner?
Yes, sir.
How long have you owned it?
Almost 13 years.
Do you operate it as well?
Yep.
Scott, can I get 8.6 or 8-6, please?
Can you see that on screen, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott, if you can please scroll down. We'll go back to the top. Sir, do you recognize these records?
I do.
Are these records made at the time of the transaction?
Yes.
And is it your business's regular practice to make these records?
Yeah, I mean, there's some, at the time of an order, the table is created, whether it's a to-go order or someone physically in the restaurant. And then when the card is actually swiped, then the table's closed.
Okay, so we're going to get into that. I just need to lay a little bit of foundation to admit that then we're going to publish them. Like, do you keep these records as
Your Honor,
regular?
we don't object. It's fine to come in.
States 8-6 is admitted.
Thank you. Let's publish them, please, Scott, Your Honor. Scott, if you can, let me see here. Okay, so generally, what are we looking at?
So at 9:07, Megan is her employee. I believe this was a to-go order that was called in.
Okay.
And then, it was paid for in person at the time of pickup. $10 was written on gratuity, then $41.39 was a total charge.
So does this reflect a receipt from a called-in order at your diner on April the 14th, 2022?
Yeah.
And the card entry method there, S, is that for swipe?
Yeah.
And then the card was present, that's what that's telling us?
Yep.
Signature at the bottom, normal receipt that we've all seen all the time, always?
Yeah.
Scott, can you go to the next page, please? What is this portion of the document that we're looking at now?
Okay, so this is Megan's checkout. This would be at the end of her shift. And this is like a breakdown of credit cards, whether MasterCard Discover, cash sales, and that kind of stuff.
And then, Scott, if you can go down to the third document. You embiggen that top part, thank you. And then, so what is this?
Okay, so this is an audit of
Crap, I knew I
that
forgot.
particular order. So you can see the timeline on the left side. So at 8:55, it says a Greek omelet, quinoa salad, bagel sandwich with hash browns, and then Kouri is typed in. So at 8:55, an order was placed. At 9:07, the food was ready. 9:07, payment was applied. And then at 10:50, adjusted payment. So the server has some leeway as to when they actually adjust their tips. I mean, before they're into their shift, they're going to go through all their sales and adjust tips. Some servers wait till the end of the day. At 11 o'clock on Valentine's, we weren't very busy, so she did it during the day.
Sir, why the name Kouri?
Because it's a phone-in to-go order. So we don't take credit cards over the phone unless we really need to. But we do enough to-go orders that we want a name associated with it, so we don't get the orders mixed up. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. I don't have any further questions.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
You and I've met before, but just to remind you, I'm Kathy Nestor. I represent Kouri Richins. So I want to go back to what the Exhibit 8.6 that the state just went over with you, and if we could go to the last page. Can you go to the next page, the very last that page, and then blow it up? And can we publish, Your Honor? It's in.
Yep.
Okay. So could we please highlight the bagel sandwich and the Greek omelet? Now, I've visited your diner. You guys have had similar menu items for a long time. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
You're pretty familiar with your food?
Yeah, we haven't changed the Greek omelet since day one.
Okay, what's in the Greek omelet?
Feta, spinach, Kalamata olives, 2 eggs, spinach.
And it's an egg omelet.
Yes.
I don't know if there's another kind,
Yeah.
but just in case.
I mean, I'm not a big olive guy, but olives and an egg sound fucking awful. Ugh.
All right, and so that is just the egg dish itself, right? It's not a sandwich.
No, it does come with a choice of hash browns or a country potato. You can modify that and do a quinoa salad, which is what happened in this case.
Okay, so they switched out the hash browns for the quinoa salad.
Yeah, so there's an upcharge for that, but like you could get soup instead of hash browns. So
Great.
to your side.
And then what's in the bagel sandwich?
Bacon, egg, and cheese, avocado, and tomato.
All right, and it's on what type of bagel?
Just a New York plain water bagel.
All right. Is there mayonnaise or anything on it?
Nope.
So it's a fried egg?
Typically over hard.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
over hard. Yeah, fried egg over hard.
Over
So
hard.
Over
I'm
hard.
sorry.
So not runny.
Got it. So it's fried egg over hard.
Mhm.
Great.
And then pepper jack cheese.
All right. And when you get that ready for a to-go order, how do you package it?
It's because it's with hash browns, it'd be in a styrofoam box.
And it's a hot sandwich, correct?
Yeah.
You certainly wouldn't want to eat an egg sandwich cold. It'd
Right.
be kind of gross, right?
Debatable, but
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe a cold egg sandwich.
we do a lot of to-go that okay, that's what they want.
Okay, but you give it to them hot.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. And I'm sorry, just to refresh my memory again, the ingredients on the bagel sandwich are
2 slices of bacon, 2 eggs over hard, 1 slice of pepper jack cheese,
Fair.
about a quarter of sliced avocado, and typically 2 slices of tomato.
Okay.
And then the bagel itself,
all right.
toasted.
Except for the avocado.
Court's indulgence for just 1 minute. I'm almost done. Just 1 second, okay?
How you doing, mean?
And just to be clear, the time that was on the stamp says 8:55 a.m. Can we bring that up one more time?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I understand what that time means. Is that the time of the order or the time it was picked up?
When it was ordered. So it was called in at 8:55.
All right.
And then it was physically picked up and paid for at 9:07.
Perfect. And 9:07 in the morning.
Yeah, it's
breakfast.
well, it says a.m., so that's
Okay,
I'm going with it.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all I have, so I appreciate it.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
So you can step down. Maybe release this witness, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
You're free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Butler, who's next?
Your Honor, the state calls Josh Kays. Your Honor, I understand he's at the other building right now.
Oh.
Maybe we can take 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's let you stretch your legs. No harm in that. Please rise for the jury.
Yes. Sir, how many Mexicans work in your kitchen? Oh.
Counsel, we'll be in recess until 11:25. Thank you.
Yes, chat. That was the whole sandwich Kouri Richins gave to Eric. That was free advertising. Yep, it was. And the real quick, we had to get to the super chats here. Another for $10 says this judge is Chris Watts coded. I know I'm late. Yeah. Guys, Chris Watts, the guy who killed his family out in Utah. If you weren't aware. Anonymous says, what's your price to put butter on Clyde? Thus making him the butter dog. Oh, when I call him I call him Bubber Bear, and then sometimes I call him Butter Bear. He just Bubber Bear. The dog with the butter. Dog with the butter on them. I don't know. It's a lot of subs. A lot of subs. IG8857 says, speaking from experience, the only reason why a friend of mine's not in jail is because he kept his fucking mouth shut during a very bad divorce in a CPS case. Yeah. Remember, chat, nobody talks, everybody walks. Nobody talks, everybody walks. And then Stabby's been a member 33 months. Thank you for being here, Stabby. It's a long time. 33 months. Putting up with this shit. And as a Janny, too. It says, tell the jury watching to like, subscribe. Yes, jurors, please like and subscribe. Please do. Please do. And tell the judge you watch the Fat Man. So let's skip ahead here. God damn, they get these people moved around.
We invite Mr. Case, good morning. If you would step in front of Brit.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What, sir, is your name?
Joshua Kays.
Is your last name spelled K-A-Z-E?
Yes,
Sir, did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How?
I met Eric probably in 2014 through some mutual friends. Hung out with him a couple times, and then started working in Park City in 2016 for a builder. And Eric Richins was a subcontractor that I worked with quite a bit from 2016 on.
aside from a business professional relationship, did you have a personal relationship with Eric?
Yeah. So after I started working in Park City, him and I became friends pretty quickly. I played on some of his recreational sports teams. We both liked camping and hunting, so we kind of hit it off on that front. And I think starting 2017, we started hunting together quite a bit each fall.
And would you take trips together to hunt?
Yeah, I think we went to Idaho on some trips 2 or 3 times. Went to Colorado on a trip once, and then a number of times here in Utah.
Are those hunting trips, pack hunting trips, where you pack in, hunt, pack out?
Mixture of both. We'd, hike in a lot. I think we went on some that were pretty grueling. Idaho and the Frank Church Wilderness was a pretty grueling experience. Our last one that we went on together in Colorado ended up being pretty physically demanding, but it was a mixture of sleeping out. Sometimes we'd sleep in trailers, all the above.
Either professionally or personally, in the last few years of Eric's life, how often would you speak with him?
I'd say probably at least every other week. We had a lot of jobs going with Eric and his company. And so we would speak a lot about that. And then obviously in the fall, we would get to speak quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of the hunting trips we went on, it was just him and I on quite a few of them. So, talk a lot on those ones as well.
Do you get to know your hunting buddy pretty well when you're out packing with him?
Yeah, especially if it's just you two. There's nobody else to talk to. So, yeah, I think you get to know him pretty well in those situations, especially.
What was Eric like personally?
He's very kind of outgoing, confident, fun person to be around. He's just kind of magnetic personality. Obviously not shy, I'd say competitive, especially in sports that we played. He was extremely dependable. One of the best subcontractors I've ever had. If you asked him to do something he didn't forget, it was always done. Every time he said he would be somewhere or get something done, he always got it done. He was very, very responsible and good that way.
Have you ever observed Eric sick or injured?
No.
Have you ever seen him use over-the-counter drugs?
No.
Have you ever seen him use prescription drugs?
No.
Have you ever seen him use illicit drugs?
No.
Have you ever observed any indication that Eric used drugs?
No.
Do you recall receiving a phone call from Eric Richins at about 2:11 p.m. on Valentine's Day 2022?
I do.
Without saying what Eric said to you, why is it you remember that phone call?
It was notable, I think, for a couple of reasons, but the main reason was just, the topics of the things we talked about, but also the emotion, I guess. It was unlike any other conversation I'd had with Eric. Mostly just kind of his spirits felt almost like somber, and anybody that knows Eric, most of the time you would call and he would already be talking upbeat, and this one was a lot different.
How did he sound to you?
Like I said, somber would be maybe a way to describe it. Very serious. Maybe sincere, which is a little like, especially for friends that joke around a lot and kind of rib each other quite a bit, which we did. It was just very outside the norm.
Had you ever heard Eric sound like that before?
No.
Based on what Eric said to you, and without saying anything that Eric said, did you offer Eric any advice?
I don't know that I would say advice other than maybe like questions, like suggestions and questions was my response.
What questions did you ask Eric?
Carefully approach.
All right, chat. Sorry about that. I had to step away. I had a client issue. Ordering a Greek omelet, that sounds awful with the olives in it. So no.
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Case, let me ask you 3 yes or no questions, okay? Based on that conversation, did you ask Eric Richins if he was okay now?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric if he was going to go to the hospital?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
Sir, after that call with Eric Richins, did you speak to anybody else about that call?
Yes.
Who did you speak with?
I talked to my wife that night about it. And then a day or two later told a mutual friend, actually two different mutual friends of mine and Eric's.
Did there come a time after Eric's death when you spoke about this call with Kouri Wright?
Yes.
Did Kouri Wright have a similar call with Eric Richins?
Check the hearsay.
Sustained.
When you spoke with Kouri Wright about this call, did Kouri Wright say anything inconsistent with your call with Eric Richins?
Check the hearsay.
Sustained.
So that's all I have. Thank you.
No questions, Your Honor.
May we release this witness, Ms. Nestor?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Case, you are free to go. Please travel safe.
Yeah, you definitely don't want this guy back to keep saying, oh, I think I'm going to die. You don't want any of that. You got to get this guy at the stand immediately.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may we approach on schedule then?
Of course.
All right, chat. So remember, they're going to be done by Monday, it looks like, which is interesting. So let's keep going here.
If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Thanks, Case. Please proceed, Mr. Bloodworth.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. What ma'am is your name?
Chelsea Barney.
Is your last name spelled Barney?
Yes,
Do you know Kouri Richins?
I do.
How do you know?
We've been friends for about 20 years.
When did you first meet?
9th grade, junior high school.
Have you stayed friends that whole time?
Yes.
So no, but at the time he didn't know what was going on. The police widely suspect that she put some fentanyl in it, and he had some sort of reaction to it. So he might not have realized he was ODing. And then 2 weeks later, she gives him a drink laced like with vodka, a vodka drink, Moscow Mule, just laced with fentanyl, and she, overkills on it. So that first time he didn't realize what the hell was going on. So
How often do you speak, or did you speak with Kouri Richins?
well, that is true. I wouldn't wear red to a murder trial if there's blood everywhere, but this isn't a bloody thing, so. Also, at this point, it probably really doesn't matter, Luke. It's kind of over at this point.
All the time. Sometimes every day, sometimes every other. All the time.
How often would you see her?
A couple times a week. When we got busy with kids, it's sometimes once a month. It just kind of depends on schedule at that time.
Would you travel together?
Yeah, I traveled sometimes with her, yeah.
Did you consider her your best friend?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the fact that the defendant obtained a $250,000 home equity line of credit on the home that she lived in?
Yes.
When did you learn of that?
We were on a vacation to Sun Valley, and she had told me about it.
Who were you on that vacation with?
Some of our other friends.
Was that vacation in October of 2020?
Yes.
Maybe the first weekend of October of 2020?
Yes.
What, if anything, did the defendant say about that?
She had said that Eric was mad at her and had turned off her credit cards because he found out she took a loan out on the house, and asked if we could pay for the trip, and she would reimburse us when she could.
Did Kouri Richins say what she did with that $250,000?
She used it to buy a house to flip and sell.
Scott, can we get 2-2D, please? man. Scott's going to scroll through it, and I'm going to ask you if you recognize it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Here, a depiction of an October
Jesus.
14th, 2020 text exchange between you and Kouri Richins.
Yes.
Are you the blue bubbles? And no, it's the opposite, right? Is Kouri Richins the blue bubbles and you the green bubbles?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-2D.
No objection.
States 2-2D is admitted.
Okay, guys, there's a bunch. I'm not narrating through all these again, but it's all about the $250K for the house. Here, EDB read them to you guys. Okay, fine. Here, 250. It'll take me a couple months till my investors pay out. Oh, for sure. I just got to be top notch careful. He's totally gonna feel like, and then shit will hit the fan. Yeah. So she's stealing money from him. There's nothing more important to me than the boys making sure the custody is always going to be at least 50-50, and he digs and kicks and digs to fight something. I don't want him hiring some expensive attorney to fight for the kids or something. IDK. Everything's gone through my mind. There's possibilities there. There we go, Dad. There. Like, it's all the shit surrounding 250K, guys. Like, okay, I'm trying to deal with a client issue right now that kind of just shit the bed for me. So the friend's saying, yeah, I bet. I don't know if it was me. I'd want to be out ASAP and let the attorneys figure out all the monies. Well, there, we didn't get a chance to read it. He's going to try everything. He's pushing me so bad to go. I saw what was going on, guys. Like, I'm trying to deal with a real problem. I'm sorry. I apologize. A real thing is happening. I'm trying to take care of. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I can't just go to him thinking you're the crazy one. That's nuts. You should say, fine, I'll go and see what he says. I'm sure that's what he'll try to do. And say you drink too much. You definitely need to go see him and what he needs to do. Eric's home. Chat later. There. What the fuck is that?
Ma'am, did Kouri Richins ever tell you whether she had paid back that home equity line of credit?
Yes.
What did she say?
I don't really recall, just that the house she flipped made money. I mean, I didn't really ask much about how much she made or didn't make, and she said she paid him back.
Did there come a time at the end of February 2022 when Kouri Richins
Thanks, Marlene.
mentioned to you something about a
I mean, I technically am trying to tell my client to suck it up. Like, they're bringing this up, and it's like, we got court at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And I'm like, it's 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, and we're go to court 8 o'clock on Friday morning. There ain't shit I can do. So,
a cervical cancer scare?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
We were at a friend's brunch, and she was waiting for a call from her doctor, and she received that call
They
at the
smeared
brunch,
her
and she had
pap.
said that her doctor had mentioned that she possibly had cervical cancer and had to go in for a biopsy.
Were you present when Kouri Richins called Eric about that?
Yes.
What did she say to Eric?
She just told him just what the doctor said and that she had to go on for a biopsy.
How did Eric react?
Yeah, concerned, but kind of was, let's not overreact until we know for sure type of thing.
Other than THC gummies, did you know Kouri Richins to use illicit drugs?
No.
Other than THC gummies, did you know Eric Richins to use illicit drugs?
No.
Did you know him to use pain pills at all?
No.
Scott, can I get 2-108, please?
not tonight, Kay. No, I'm actually not touching those guys tonight. Thank you very much. If you want to know the truth about it. Yes. Or as Cardi B told her, she went to the vagina doctor.
Ma'am, if you could read down that kind of timestamp, party, and description columns. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Scott, can you bring up 2-108D as in Delta?
Yes, if that happens, I will get breakfast tomorrow. There's a night nighter nearby. God, you guys are such assholes.
Ma'am, do you? Oh, I'm sorry. We're still going. Okay. Ma'am, do you recognize that as an accurate depiction of a March the 7th, 2022 text exchange between you and Kouri Richins?
Yes.
And is she in blue and you in green?
Oh, yeah. It's May 7th, though.
May 7th? Sorry, May 7th.
Yeah, I'm in green. She's in blue.
Your Honor, state moves to knit 2-108 Delta.
2-108D is admitted.
Oh yeah, like totally. It's all just fucking crazy. My attorneys have been like talking to me all day about it. They're saying if it's poisoning, that means he overdosed on it by accident, obs, because he doesn't do drugs. They said he had no evidence of either of us having anything to do with it. So somehow it got into his system. We should totally get the cause of death and autopsy this week. And then my attorneys are going to push for everything and try to close this shit out. Oh, awesome. Thanks, friend. Thanks, bestie. I think she ran over and grabbed it. Odina. Just poison lols. Yeah, it's nuts. They say poison and automatically jump to murder. Like, no. That's ridiculous and guarantee. It's like fucking Paul Prudhomme. Ho, ho, ho. That came straight from Amy and Kate once they heard that. Do they still have to answer by Monday?
Ma'am, turning now to the morning of Eric Richins' death.
Mm-hmm.
How were you informed of his death?
Lisa, Corey's mom, called me.
And what did you do upon receiving that phone call?
I went up to her house.
Did you discuss what happened with Kouri Richins that morning?
To who? I don't know what you mean.
Did Kouri Richins explain to you
God, she sound.
anything about
These
Eric?
Utah women sound like fucking Canadians. It is so creepy. I don't get it, Chad. I don't get it.
Death?
Oh, yeah.
What did she say?
Just that she went to bed with one of the boys and woke up, went back in the room, and realized Eric was cold and realized he wasn't breathing.
Did she say anything to you regarding whether they had a drink that evening?
Yes.
What did she say?
That they were celebrating the closing of a job she had, and they had a drink together.
Were you present in November of 2022 when Kouri Richins had a phone call with her attorneys about the night of Eric Richins' death?
I don't recall.
Were you present for a phone call that Kouri had in November 22 where she said that Eric was on the phone with people in Mexico about hunting when she went into Ashton's bedroom?
Yes, I was.
Is that what she said?
Yes.
And is that about the right time period, November of 2022?
I honestly can't remember the month, but I remember that being there in that conversation.
Thank you. Scott, can you bring up 2-45 Delta, please? Change you had on March the 15th, 2022 with Kouri Richins?
Yes.
Your Honor, state moves to admit 245D and published.
Objection.
245D is admitted.
I just tried Chell so fucking hard to save him. His life is. I just tried Chell so fucking hard to save him. His lifeless body on my bedroom floor. His eyes, his yellow body cold. It was so cold. I pumped so damn hard, screaming at him to come back to life that I needed him, that he was gone, Chells. Just fucking gone. He never even gave me a sign he needed fucking help. I would have woken up. I could have helped him. This is so fucked, yo. Up. I can't even imagine, friend. I can't. No matter what people say you're doing to feel different, but I don't think there was anything that could have been done. It was an unexpected thing. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I can't imagine what you're going through. Do you want me to come up? I'm okay. I need to get my stuff over to my attorney. Thanks, so Shells. How's that all going? Okay, just let me know if you need anything with the boys. You need anything at all, you can call me and chat too. Then she says, fucking nightmare. I heard the law firm that represents the Jazz. It cost me $100K. I will fucking win. They will not take from me what is mine and what I worked my ass for. They won't. Thanks, friend. I love you. I can't believe they're following through with all of it. Like, how fucking heartless can you be? Have you asked Katie to back off? I'm just shocked. Totes. I'm sorry, bestie. I will help in any way I can. I love you too.
Counsel, would you approach just briefly for a moment?
All right, chat.
And we need to break for lunch. We're going to do that now during the
wow.
lunch break. Please do not talk about
But
anything
remember, they started late.
related to the
so
case.
Let's see what happens here. They go for lunch breaks. They usually go at about a half hour, so we'll see. Oh, they're having like a real lunch today. Damn. I'm impressed. They actually had like an hour-long lunch. Holy fuck. That was impressive.
We recording the phone.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Lewis? Anything we need to discuss regarding the recording of the phone call that's going to come in through Ms. Barney?
We object to it.
Let's have that conversation now. Mr. Bloodworth, just for the record, proffer what the proposed exhibit is.
That's true.
Your Honor, it's two exhibits. It's state 2-46 and 2-47. It's one phone call that's split into two recordings. And the phone call is June 17th, 2022, between the defendant and a friend of Eric's. And Chelsea Gibson, the current witness, was present for the portion. Sorry, Chelsea Barney, the present witness, was present for the portion of the conversation that the state intends to play. And she participated in it. The state is offering it for the defendant's statements. The statements made by Mr. Knudsen and Ms. Barney are effect on the here context.
Okay. And a one-sentence description of the probative value. I don't know what's on the call.
Your Honor, the probative value, there's a lot to unpack there. It's sum total, the calls are about 45 minutes.
Give me an example.
Consciousness of guilt throughout.
Okay. Ms. Lewis.
Your Honor, first, we don't think the call is relevant. It takes place after Mr. Richins' death. It doesn't discuss anything of relevance in this case that I can recall. We also don't know. Chelsea wasn't a party to the call. I don't know if it was on speaker and she heard parts of the call.
Representation if she speaks during it.
I'm sorry.
The representation from the state is that Chelsea Barney speaks during the call.
I was just going to say once or twice she says like yes, or she makes a couple of comments. I don't know if she was there for the whole call, if she was in and out. I don't know which portion of the call in particular they want to put in. So
Forgive me. I was under the impression that you, Mr. Bloodworth, discussed this very thing during the break.
We did not.
Okay. Would now be an appropriate time to have that conversation so that you're not unsure about those things?
Yes, Joe transcript you want to put in.
Yes.
Can I have it?
Yes.
I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee while you review that transcript. Would you email me a copy of the same transcript? Yes, so I can have the same information at the same time.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be in recess for until 1:15. Thank you.
From getting 100K is the real thief here? No, that's how you get paid, man. Erica Chu is a new nickname. Now it's Cat Bread. Apparently it's too hard to smell Can't Breathe. What? Why is she can't breathe? Why is she can't breathe here? I don't get it. All right, guys. So, wow, we're making good fucking time here. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Ms. Lewis, may I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
I now appreciate what I did not appreciate before I took the break. This is the call that was the subject of one of defendant's motions in limine, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the parties briefed this. We had a hearing about it. I ruled on it. I denied the defendant's motion to exclude this very recording, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything further on that?
Just if we could have a continuing objection to it, to its admission.
It's preserved for the record. All right. Mr. Bloodworth, are we ready for the... ready for the jury. My apologies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Cody, we're ready for the Tracy. Thank you. Mr. Bloodworth, is your team gathering? Very good. My apologies. Ms. Barney's welcome to take a stand.
Oh my gosh, come on.
Please you come in. Have a seat. Thank you. Ms. Martin, you're still under oath. Very good. Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, were you present at the Richins residence 2 days after Eric's death, March the 6th, or on March the 6th, 2022?
Yes, I was.
And did there come a time when Kouri Richins was very upset and you went to console her?
Yes.
Why was she upset?
She got in an argument with her sister-in-law.
And what was the argument over?
She was trying to get into Eric Richins' safe to get the will out.
And did the argument also involve the home?
Yes.
What portion of the argument involved the home?
The sister-in-law had told Kouri that the house was no longer hers and it belonged to the other sister because she was in charge of everything.
How did Kouri Richins react to learning that?
She was very upset.
How upset?
Crying. I mean, pretty upset. Yeah.
Did she collapse?
Yeah.
Was she hysterical?
Yeah.
Did she say why she was so upset?
She just said she couldn't believe this was all happening.
Did she seem surprised to you that the house was no longer under her control?
Yes.
What, ma'am, do you know about Kouri Richins' business?
Very little. Just that she would buy houses, flip them, and sell them.
Did she present to you as being successful at that?
Yes.
Was she very generous to you?
Yes.
Were you aware that she was in any financial distress?
No.
Ma'am, are you familiar with the house at 299 East, 100 South in Heber?
Yes.
How so?
I lived there. I bought it from Kouri.
Who lived there with you?
My family, my husband, and 3, and I had another one, so 4 kids.
Ma'am, when you say you bought it from Kouri, what do you mean?
We were in a situation of needing a place to live, and Kouri was buying this house to flip it and sell it, and she offered to sell it to me.
Did you accept that offer?
Yes.
What was the arrangement?
Just, it went back and forth for a year on what would work out, and it came down to I would sign the deed of the house, and the house was mine, and I paid a down payment, and I could do what I wanted because I had the deed to the house, but the loan would be under her name, but I would pay the mortgage payments myself.
So let's start with the down payment. What was your understanding of the down payment?
Just, she told me it was to pay the brokers back that she borrowed money from to get the house.
And how much money was the down payment?
$45,000.
What, ma'am, were you doing for a living at that time?
I was a manager up at Soldier Hollow Grill.
And did you work in part for tips?
Yes.
And did you have savings from your tip money to pay the $45,000 down payment?
Yes.
Did that amount to essentially your life savings at that point?
Yes.
Did you wire $45,000 to Kouri Richins in 2 separate wires?
Yes.
And you understood that to be a down payment on the house that you were living in?
Yes.
Did you understand that Kouri was going to put that money towards a mortgage that was closing soon after you wired the money?
Yes.
As far as you know at the time, did she put the $45,000 towards the mortgage?
Yes.
What was then your arrangement with her on paying rent or paying the mortgage or money?
The loan was just in her name, and I paid the mortgage company directly myself.
Do you remember about what you paid them every month?
$2,900.
Scott, can I get 6-14, please?
You don't have that much.
Scott, can you scroll down for the for Ms. Barney and counsel?
I have a feeling this is going to end poorly here. Look,
Ma'am, do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Is that a copy of a warranty deed that you signed on this house?
Yes.
Is it an accurate depiction of that warranty deed?
Yes.
Your Honor, statement of 614 and evidence.
No objection.
614 is admitted.
Your Honor, no, thank you. Okay, Ms. Barney, it says up at the top, 290 East, 100 South in Heber. Is that the address that you lived at with your family at the time?
Yes.
And that's you, Chelsea Barney, as the sole owner?
Yes.
Scott, if you could scroll down, please. Scott, if you could scroll down, please. Scott, if you could, sorry, if I go up, if you could just enlarge kind of the middle to the bottom portion. Thank you. Scott, if you could go to the next page, please. And then down to the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, the bottom page. You could enlarge that, please.
Hey, Chad, so this is the deed of trust.
Ma'am, is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
When you signed that document, what was your understanding?
That the house was mine.
Did you understand that that document, upon signing it, that needed to be recorded with Wasatch County?
Yes.
Was that document ever recorded with Wasatch County?
No.
Now, here's the neat thing, guys.
That was signed, I think, on January the 6th, 2023.
Big thing to think about here. The fact that deed is not recorded does not make it invalid. A deed being recorded just puts everybody on notice that you have title to that. So I can sign a piece of property over to you. You can never record it. It's still a valid sale. It's just we record things to protect ourselves. It also puts everybody on notice. So recording it is not required. Recording it is not required. It's always a good idea, though.
From that point forward, did you continue to live in the home, pay the mortgage, and have the understanding that it was your home?
Yes.
Did there come a point when that understanding changed?
Yes.
When was that?
When she got arrested, I was informed that there was a loan taken out on my house that I didn't know about, or I didn't take it out.
On her hearsay?
So the question was, did there come a time when she became aware of a certain condition? She's explaining how she became aware of the condition. Doesn't matter if it's true, just matters that she heard it. So this explanation for what she heard can be considered only for an explanation of the effect it had upon her, not for the truth of the matter asserted. Go from there, Mr. Bloodworth.
So did there come a time when your understanding changed?
Yes, I emailed the lady I signed the papers with and asked for copies of the paper, and she told me it was never filed with the county.
Did you continue to live in the house?
I did.
Did that change?
Yes.
When?
September 24, I believe. I was evicted.
You were evicted in September 24?
Mhm.
Why were you evicted?
The new owners kicked me out.
Were there new owners because mortgage was foreclosed on?
No.
Why were there new owners?
I don't know how it all works, but she gave the deed over to someone else, and they owned the house.
Was it a deed in lieu of foreclosure?
Yes.
So you never actually had valid title. So this, once again, chat, there's a reason. So you know what that tells you? The deed in lieu of foreclosure. The reason why it was never recorded, because there was a mortgage. And the moment you record the deed, the mortgage company would have triggered a foreclosure action. So yeah, just it's a whole set of reasons for that. No, it's not a short sale, Stacy. A deed in lieu of foreclosure is basically, I'll just give you the house, don't foreclose on me. That was the thing that happened a lot starting in 2008. No, this is, she gave her friend a deed, they didn't record it, and then, their game plan was Kouri would just keep paying off. So was she tricked into being a squatter? Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Who's the she when you just said that?
Kouri.
So it's your understanding that Kouri Richins gave the deed of the house over to new owners in lieu of foreclosure on the house?
Yes.
Scott, can I get 2-55 Delta, please?
All right. What was somebody saying? Squatters' rights, heavy state. Okay. So is her 45K gone? Yeah. Yep. She had no title. Kouri couldn't give her any title. So she had no right to that. Kouri basically stole money from her. Yep. Suffer Kouri. Suffer Kouri Richins. Suffer. Shells. Suffer. Be a thief. Catbread is married.
Yes.
An accurate depiction of January 17, 2022 text exchange between you and Kouri Richins.
Yes. It's not January though.
Sorry, June 17th, 2022. I'm having trouble.
Yes. I'll correct you, I guess.
Please do. Your Honor, state moves 2-55B into evidence. Hold off on publishing.
Your Honor, we object. Plea approach.
Okay. Well, this isn't looking good. These people all like fucking idiots. I'm sure this guy's just furious. He's like, this bimbo Kouri is just playing the white trash games with everything. So. Oh, he's frozen, chat. Uh-oh. They're frozen, chat. Let me try to catch back up to this here, see what happened. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why it was frozen up. Dr. Phil. You think that's the cuck fridge she's wearing the shirt for?
We're going to let you stretch your legs. Please rise to the jury.
Okay, so apparently we've got an issue here.
May I borrow that, Mr. Glover? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I know it's Eric's dad. We already talked about him being the rancher. It's very much like Yellowstone with his family. Oh my God. Work 20. Come on now. Hate how this shit won't buffer right. Internet sucks. Let's go back to here we go. Yeah, see, it's not even us, Chad. It's the connection. Let's keep trying to go here and see what happens.
Here.
Okay, what are we looking at, Judge?
Stand defendant's position. The two sentences that give defendant the most concern, because in defendant's view, they would undermine the court's ruling regarding the scope
Afix did not ruin the
of
video.
Kouri Wright's likely testimony are as follows. This is details matter here, so if you can write those details down. The green message from Ms. Barney on June 17 at 10:36:04 includes the following sentence. Quote, fuck that, you wouldn't call Cody about anything personal, end quote. I understand your position to be that when considered in context of Cody's testimony would provide a inference for the jury to draw, or would provide a basis for the jury to draw an inference regarding the content of the conversation with Cody that has been excluded. Am I with you so far?
Yes, except that we actually would start with, you gave him a sandwich.
Yeah, sorry, that is something your client talked about later in the string, so that we got to keep that context in there.
Just a minute.
the giving of the sandwich has not been excluded. That's actually hotly in dispute. It's something the state is seeking to prove. The thing that I've excluded is some content of what Eric told Cody, because there is not an applicable hearsay exception for some of that content.
All right, so you're starting with haha, and out of everyone who called Cody about it through.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, sure. Those 2 sentences.
Okay, all right, that's different.
Okay, and then hold on. Let me just get it on the record, and I'll give you a full opportunity to respond.
I wasn't trying to respond. Can you mark it on the paper copy so that we can then transfer to the?
I can't. Do you actually want to write? I don't want to ruin the only copy you have.
We'll make a new one.
All right, very good. I got it. Okay, and then, as I understand it, Ms. Lewis, we would go to 6/18/2022, 9:57:49. That's on page 9.
Yes.
Second paragraph. Quote, I highly doubt Eric called his sister and agrees to tell her you poisoned him.
Well, probably the next sentence, because it makes no sense otherwise.
Well, it makes as much sense as anything, but it doesn't matter because it's not coming in for the truth. So other than those 2, were there any other sentences that you believe would undermine the court's other ruling?
Just one moment.
And I'm sorry, other than those 2 sections, I understand it's more than 2 sentences.
No, I mean, we still would make our objection regarding hearsay and the double hearsay, but no, those are the sentences that particularly deal with that issue.
Okay, so Mr. Bloodworth, let me make sure the state gets an opportunity to be heard here. Let's take these 2 sections one at a time. Let's go back to
Sorry, guys, I didn't reach that.
6/17/2022, 10:36:04. That's the top of page 7. Let me know when you're there.
I think I'm there.
Okay, quote, haha, and out of everyone he called Cody about it, fuck that, he wouldn't call Cody about anything personal. Those 2 sentences. Any objection to redacting those 2 sentences?
No.
Okay, let's do that, Scott, and then let me know when you're ready to move on. Got it. Can you see that, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then Scott, if we may go to page 9, the green bubble at the top. Second paragraph. Quote, I highly doubt Eric called his sister in Greece to tell her you poisoned him, end quote.
So, that relates to not to the Valentine's Day charge poisoning. It relates to an earlier trip to Greece. I think there's a fair reading of that is not he called his sister in Greece, he called his sister from Greece.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and that was my first reading of it too, given the prior content regarding getting sick in Greece. It's ambiguous, though, and so out of an abundance of caution, we're just going to reject it.
Out of an abundance of caution, the state will not object.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And then we will, of course, pursuant to defendant's request, instruct the jury that they may consider Ms. Richins' statements in the blue bubbles for any purpose. They may not consider any of Ms. Barney's statements in the green for their truth. Rather, they may only consider them for the effect they had upon Ms. Richins as the listener.
We understand the rule, yes.
Got it. Anything else before we invite the jury back in, Ms. Lewis?
No.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You have some water, Ms. Barney?
I do.
All right, very good. We're ready for the jury. Yeah, it's 2-55D. Yeah.
Come on. Okay, I haven't heard it.
Please have a seat as you come in.
Here we go. Ace Ventura for €7. From Demerkel Reich. Thank you for that. Says Sean, F1 is calling. Good night. Yes, chat. Formula One starts this weekend. I think it's like Saturday night at 11 p.m. We actually go live. We'll be doing it over on Locals, watching the race. It'll be great. But thank you, Ace. Have a great night. It's Mr. Bloodworth Esquire chat. If my mind were if I were on the jury, my mind would already be made. Yeah, mine would be too, probably at this point. I'm not gonna lie. She did it.
All right, please have a seat. Mr. Bloodworth, State's Exhibit 2-55D is admitted. Would you like us to publish to the jury?
Your Honor, one question first, please.
Yes.
Ms. Barney, do you recall that text exchange that you just read?
Yes.
What then was the context of that exchange?
She received an affidavit on why her house was searched.
Your Honor, may the court publish?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're about to see a text exchange between Ms. Richins in blue bubbles, Ms. Barney in the green bubbles. You may consider Ms. Richins' statements in the blue bubbles for any purpose. You may not consider Ms. Barney's statements in the green bubbles for their truth. Rather, you may only consider them for the effect they had upon Ms. Richins as the listener. of the messages.
I just said it to you, and they said we were arguing about buying the Midway house because he didn't want to sign papers on it. That house had nothing to do with him. It did, though. All the fucking money. All the money had to do with him. They said I didn't even try CPR. Oh my God, what the fuck? Like, totes. What do they want with the Midway house? Like, do they want the equity of it? Like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? It even says in the ME how you did CPR. What the fuck? I would be so done and ask Gene if he knew about them doing this. I knew it was them, but that's still fucking shocking. They are so stupid and have no idea about anything. Okay, it sounds like Dark Side film. Oh my fucking God. God, didn't you guys have a drink to toast citing the Midway house? And why the fuck would you kill him over that? That's the stupidest fucking thing. You have bought and sold tons of houses. Why all of a sudden that one was the one he argued with you about it and killed you? You killed him over. I would completely cut ties with that family, totes. Now that is fucked up. They are all fucked up. Oh my God, there was nothing I could do. He was already dead. Exactly. They are so fucking stupid. And Valentine's Day, are they serious? Oh my God. I haven't read it yet. I'm about to grab a beer and read it. What do they say about Valentine's Day? Oh, well, read it so we can talk. It's like, what in the actual fuck? You gave him a sandwich? Something got blocked out here, which would have been really bad. And Eric has talked to us about how he got sick in Greece because of his Lyme disease medicine. Wade does the same thing. Same with his old Crohn's disease medicine. That's not uncommon. I mean, fuck. What if Eric was trying to kill you and set you up with things like that? Yeah, he fucking... Oh my God. Fucking twat. Twat. Oh my God. And if he wanted to divorce you, why didn't he let you move out when you said you had the Kamas condo? He didn't want you to leave and begged you. Even Amy said he was trying by taking anger management books and said everything because he loved you so much he couldn't let you go. Even fucking Bryce said it. Amy says, are you going to read all this out loud? Yes, apparently people want it read aloud like a children's story. So, yes, I am going to read it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but people want it read aloud. It says how his family came to them. Like, do you think Gene was one of them? Have the detectives talk to Sky, Eva? Gabe, no! And what would you have put in the sandwich for him to break out in hives? I didn't even make him a fucking sandwich, those fucking idiots. It was Valentine's Day, and Eric and I were both working from home that day, and I ordered lunch from Mirror Lake. He never broke out in hives or used an EpiPen. I was I was fucking with him. Bailey was there too. I was fucking with him. How? He said his hammer turned his stomach, so it was going to happen. No hives, no EpiPen. They're such liars. And then he woke up and went to work. Eric got sick of grease because we were all at a restaurant. He ordered a non-alcoholic drink. They mixed alcohol in and gave it to him. Everyone was there and watched it happen. I didn't give him a fucking drink. The waitress did. Exactly. Eric was not going to divorce me. Are you sure about that? They could go through our texts and messages, and they would send me a know that. Yes, totally. She didn't know that. Yeah. This is Core. This ain't working out for you, girl. All right, Chad. Sorry, guys, I gotta try to get ready for the 9 o'clock show here. So, you guys may have to do some of your own reading here. I'm suing them for defamation and lying to the cops. Every bit of that is a lie. Every bit of it. You know, she's telling the story. There's people who need to be able to tell their story, and you know, there's a story we have to tell. They're not getting away with this. I said it to Gene. I told him I was done with the girls. They're never allowed my kids again, and if he needs to respect that. And he said they are fucking liars. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but he will. But I'm done.
Ma'am, I'd like to now turn your attention, please, to about 2 weeks after Eric's death. On March the 19th, 2022, were you part of a phone call between the defendant, Kouri Richins, and Bryce Knudsen?
Yes.
Who is Bryce Knudsen?
Eric's best friend.
Did you listen to that phone call this morning?
Yes.
Is it in 2 separate parts?
Yes.
Was that phone call an accurate depiction of the phone call that actually occurred?
Yes.
Your Honor, those parts are labeled 2-46 and 2-47. The state moves to admit 246 and 247.
Counsel.
Same objection.
Okay. 246 and 247 are admitted, starting with 246.
Yes, Your Honor. We're going to publish in just a moment. Fair warning, they're long. Ma'am, what was the context of this phone call?
Just to see how Eric felt about everything that was going on with the house and it being in the will and Kouri not having it.
Maybe you said to see how Eric felt. Did you mean how Bryce felt?
Sorry, how Bryce felt, yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, statement to publish 246.
Ms. Lewis, do you want the same instruction? Okay. You're going to hear a telephone conversation that has 3 voices on it. One of them is Kouri Richins. You may consider the statements made by Ms. Richins on this recorded telephone call for any purpose. The statements made by the other 2 voices on this call, you cannot consider for their truth. Rather, you may consider those statements, if at all, only for the purpose of the effect they had upon Kouri as the listener to those statements. All right. Scott, if we lose audio, we'll do our usual dance, okay?
Sounds good, John.
All right.
Your Honor, I also admit, the state moves to admit 2-46T, which is the transcript for the first audio, and 2-47T, which is the transcript for the second audio.
Very good. 246T and 247T are also admitted. Scott, go ahead, please.
Just walking to the airport.
In the airport?
Yeah, no, I work at the airport at night.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to talk to you when you're free, not when you're at work.
Oh, I got 30 minutes for the next flight.
Okay. I gotta talk to you. I gotta get shit off my chest.
Okay.
You okay?
I'm good.
Oh no!
So,
the chairman, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, has joined the chat. Shitting on her chest.
you know that I'm obviously in a lawsuit with the Richins.
You are?
Yes.
I don't know that.
I just want to tell you what's going on. But I also want to back up a couple steps, and I want to tell you that I understand that your loyalty is 100% to the Richins. Like you've known them longer, and I get that, and that's fine. And I just, if our friendship ends here, I get that too. And I mean, I get it, Bryce. Like I just get it, and it sucks, but it is what it is. And I just want to get everything out on the table right now, so that But basically, you know about Eric's trust. It's no surprise. Bryce, I don't care about money. It's not a big fucking deal to me. All the money, Eric has almost, $3 million in life insurance money.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Money doesn't matter to me. Okay.
In money, I want it all to go into the trust of my kids. I don't want any of it, Bryce. Like I don't care about money. This house is my house, Bryce. But I mean, when I make money, like I work hard for my money, Bryce. Like I do. I don't make Eric money. I've put $80,000 towards our mortgage in the last year. I paid $60,000 in cash of my money towards that pool. Like this is my house, and I'm gonna fight for it. I just want you to know. And whether I have to fight the girls about it, I'm gonna. They can have half of C&E. They can have all the life insurance money. They can have anything they want. Take it. But they can't have my house, Bryce.
Yeah, sure. I don't know everything, right? I know what Eric was doing for a long time, right? I mean, I don't judge you. Eric doesn't judge you. Eric doesn't judge me and the mistakes that I made, right? But I know that.
Bryce, I mean, I'm just going to get up. Yeah, I took $250,000 off of our house.
Yeah.
Do you know how much in real estate we own today? Because I did that $11 million worth of real estate. Do you know why I did that, Bryce? Because Eric would never let me work. Eric never trusted me and believing me. No, but I want you to know that. Would you do it? Would you take $250,000 to make a...
No, because it's fucking insane. No, it's retarded. On your own home. No. You never put your own home up like that.
$11 million?
Well, that's tricky, right? Like, communication was a big thing for Eric, right?
He told me no, Bryce. I believed in myself. He told me no, but I knew I could do it because I know what I can do. Bryce, I wouldn't do something that I didn't know that I knew I could do. I'm not fucking stupid.
Right.
Bryce, I own 12 properties that are almost all paid off. Including my own house that I've almost paid off. Like I own multiple houses in Park City, in Mill Creek, in Saratoga Springs, in Heber, in Midway, and all because I did that. And they all go to my kids. $11 million of real estate property because I took $250,000, Bryce. He just never gave me a fucking chance. He never gave me a chance because he didn't believe in me. And he can say whatever he wanted. He can say I stole from him. He can say whatever. But at the end of the day, that $250,000, Bryce, was paid off in 7 months and turned into $11 million in 2 years. And now somebody's going to come in and take my fucking house from me? It's not going to happen.
I don't think they're going to take the house. They're taking the house.
Yes, they're taking my fucking house, Bryce. This is my goddamn house. This is my fucking house.
I thought the house was going to stay with you no matter what.
No. Oh. The house goes to the trust's name, which goes to Katie. She has the right to sell it. She has the right to remodel it. She has the right to do whatever. I have no rights to the house, so to speak, of the trust.
Eric he did everything for you and for those kids, right? And when all that shit went down between you and Eric over, the power of attorney and taking the money and whatever, that's what changed it for him, right? So he was like, right, I'm not here anymore. I need to make sure my kids are protected, right?
I get it.
And they're just protected.
I get it.
So I knew she wasn't going to get ugly, right? And I'm neutral here. But if you can just take my word for it, I knew.
Bryce, I'm scared to take your word for it. I'm terrified to take your word.
No, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm more on your side than Katie and Amy's side. Only because even though Eric and you were not getting along, I don't get along. That's not part of being a marriage, right? But Eric would always say that you were his wife, you were the mother of his children, and he loved you, right? And so he would do anything for you and those 3 boys. And I know he set things up with the lawyers and all that bullshit, right? And that was more for how to protect his 3 kids. But I know if Eric was still here today, he would say, no bullshit. I need Kouri to be protected. But unfortunately, he didn't set it up that way. And I don't know how he's done. I don't know.
So many mean things. There's so many mean things in it, and I don't care.
It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that.
And they can have the money, Bryce. I can make more money. I can take care of my kids. I just want my house.
Bryce is another guy she's fucking around with, I'm pretty sure. Whereas Bryce, I don't know who Bryce is, though. But yeah, here come Waterworks, yeah.
I want my house and my stuff in my house that me and Eric bought. I just want my house. They can have all the money. They can have all the money.
Did you tell him that?
I can't talk to him. I tried to tell him that, Bryce.
Hey, Bryce, this is Chelsea. Okay. So Kouri has told them, or they're going through attorney to attorney. It's never been face to face.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell them? Okay. So Kouri has told them that they can take all the life insurance, whatever they have in their name, what Eric left to them, but Kouri just wants her house, which is a $3 million to $7 million difference. Well, they won't agree to anything until they get the autopsy because they think that Kouri had a part in Eric's death. As in Amy and Katie. They probably not Katie as much as Amy. They think that Kouri has a part in Eric's death.
Go far fetched. I don't think Kouri can do that, but
What?
I think I go far fetched. I don't think Kouri.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where we're at now. And she just
charging me with all this stuff.
And she's, I mean, I'm up here just because she asked me to come up because she's kind of broken right now and she doesn't know what to do. And I mean, that's kind of where they're at, where they said they don't want to agree to anything until they get the autopsy back to reassure them that Kouri had no part in Eric's death. So that's kind of where Kouri's like, you know, like how, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, this is all just fucking crazy.
I don't. My car keeps out there, right? Or the thing that he did. I mean, all of this. They were all just second skin stories.
No, and I mean, everyone totally understands that. Like, I think everyone understands that. Everyone knows how Kouri and Eric were. Everyone does. Like, even I do. Like, everybody knew how they, yeah, like, we're not fucking stupid. I mean, 2 years ago, they were getting a divorce and then they were great. But, like, to say, in the moment that they were at when he died, I mean, I can honestly say, because I even told Kouri, like, I haven't gotten a call from you in a year that Eric was being an asshole. Like, I hadn't gotten that call. So, like, for me to say, like, Eric wouldn't have turned this around, like, I guarantee Eric would have turned this around. And I'm not saying, like, Kouri needs life insurance. She doesn't. Like, Kouri can make whatever money she wants. But the fact that they're going after her house is what she's just so broken about, is because
I don't know what's I don't know the real estate.
it just says, so in the will, it says everything that, like, so Eric put the house in the trust. No, not just for the kids, for, like, Katie. So Katie can make all calls up until they are 18 years old. Yeah, she not just that, but she used the power of the trust too.
Yeah.
So, like, Eric put the house. So Eric not only put his part of the house, but he put Kouri's equity in the house in the trust. So Kouri has no fucking say right now, unless she fights it with a lawyer, which she's doing right now. But also, he put half of his business in the half that. So him and Cody signed a I don't know, some, like, insurance thing to where if one of the partners died, that half would go to the widow. Well, Eric signed his half that would go to the widow into the trust. So in all honesty, Kouri gets nothing from Eric, which, I mean, Kouri's not about getting anything from her husband dying right now. I mean, that's a tragic thing where no one, like, that's not what we go after.
Yeah. Can you sue someone for something they said to the police as part of an investigation? Do you mean, like, for defamation or invasion of, like, defamation? I mean, have fun with that. Or are you arguing if it's, like, invasion of privacy, like she didn't have the right to, like, record my phone call? Yeah, that's not going to get you anywhere either. It's a good question though, Marlene. Very good question. Yeah, this is the thing here. I don't think Kouri understood, like, just you couldn't piss, like, you weren't trusted with the money, honey. But if you had just not fucking put mortgages and everything, everything would have been okay. Such a retard. So
Unless you're some fucking black widow, like, that's not what you go after. You don't go after your husband dying and you don't go after money. But I mean, she's just saying all, like, she doesn't even care about the life insurance, because the life insurance, the beneficiary is Katie right now of Eric's life insurance.
That's fine.
Which Kouri says she's fine. And, like, in all honesty, like, if you weigh out how much Katie gets in the will and how much Kouri is asking for, it's compared to $7 million to $3 million. Like, Kouri has already weighed her assets on everything, and with Kouri's house and, like, everything that is in her house, she would probably get $3 million of that. And Katie, with the life insurance and everything she's getting out of it, she's getting $7 million. So it's like, you know, like, all Kouri is asking for is her house, but they're not agreeing to that because they are coming up with the fact that Kouri has a say, or like, Kouri was an accomplice in how Eric died, is what they're saying. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. I have not talked to Gene or anybody.
Well, I mean, there's no reason to talk to Gene because Gene's kind of Switzerland on this whole thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but I mean, with all being said, it all comes down to Kouri can't attend Eric's celebration of life. Yes,
No, I can't. My attorney said
her attorney said there's no, like, absolutely not, like, don't attend Eric's celebration of life because Katie or Amy will be there, or one of their friends will be there, or someone will be there to come out and making Kouri look bad because they've already come after her of being an incompetent mother.
Amy said I was an incompetent mother Saturday night. Tell them that I didn't.
On Saturday, Amy has come out to her lawyer saying that Saturday night, the night that you came over and we were all drinking, that Kouri was an incompetent mother and couldn't take care of her own kids that night. So Amy had to take care of them, which Amy had no part of taking care of them because Lisa and DJ were here.
And so they're filing a suit saying
so they're filing a suit trying to make Kouri look out as a incompetent mother.
I don't think that takes too much.
And Kouri kept saying, like, all day, she's like, I need to call Bryce. I want to talk to him. Yeah, I don't know how to go about it because Bryce is, like, a rich inside. And it fucking sucks that there's, like, a rich inside and there's, like, a Kouri side. Like, it's fucking like that. It's like, that's fucked up, you know? Like, fuck. Like this isn't what this should be about. Like we shouldn't fucking like grieve about Eric's death, about being whose side is who. Like it should be all one and one, and we should come together as a fucking family and just like love each other. And, like
I agree, and I just put myself. I said if I could talk there today, and this thousands of conversations that I've had, about what would happen if I weren't here, what would happen if you weren't here. And honestly, to me, I know what everyone wants. Now I get he put shit in writing, right? I get he learned he got his feelings hurt and shit happened 2 years ago.
he got his baby feelings hurt.
And so I know for a fact that if he knew this was going to happen, I think he would have made some changes.
He would have. Christ, I am not a bad mom. Like I am not a bad fucking mom. And Amy told me I was a bad mom.
The Richins girls don't play nice, and they never will.
Well,
but
that's kind of like ultimately what she wanted to call you about was that she just can't make the celebration of life, and she feels awful about it. She doesn't want. I mean, and if you continue to do it, whether you cancel it or not, like if you continue to do it, she doesn't want you to. She doesn't want to come out as looking as a bad guy that she's not there.
Oh, I get it.
Everybody's coming though, Bryce. I invited everybody, and everybody's coming. I just can't go. I feel like a fucking asshole, but I just can't. And I don't know what they're gonna do or say next, and I didn't fucking do anything.
I know, I get it.
Yeah, like in all reality, she's just kind of looking out for her and the boys right now.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Kouri, I have no part of any of this. My goal for as long as I'm on this hammer is just. I mean, Kouri, I get things are going to transpire in the next however many years, right? I just hope that you and I can have a relationship to where I can come see you guys every once in a while. You guys live so damn far away. That's what I want. I don't want to muddy the water. I don't want things to get shitty between you and I because I would love to see those boys grow up, right? Because once those boys grow up would be the world of Eric, and him and I made promises to one another that if something were happening to one of us, that that's what we do for one another. And Kouri, I get it. Like, Brooke and I suck at being married too. Like, shit happens. And unfortunately, Eric does some shit in writing because I think I was feeling hurt. But at the end of the day, he loves you, and he loves those boys, and he'd say the same thing today if he was here. So,
yeah, I agree. I get it.
But hey, let me call you back if I can. My plane is managed.
Yeah.
Like half hour. Okay.
All right, call us back.
Now we can move to 2-47 now.
What happened?
I mean, if you're Kouri Richins, do you feel less guilty or more guilty right now? Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. What? Wow, half Sean, what? So yeah, she thinks Kouri's entitled to half. Oh yeah, I know. Well, even if she did understand the trust, she would assume Kouri's getting everything anyway. These women are just retards. Yeah, $600K to servicing debt. Remember that. Kouri Richins like, oh, we have all this money. It's like, no, they don't. Remember, what was her net worth? Negative $1.6 million. Her real estate flopped on her. Almost everything flopped on her. How do you spend $1.3 million in weeks by buying shitty real estate? So, oh, was Bryce the best friend, Eric? Okay, thank you, Cat's Gallery. I wasn't sure who he was. So, but yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, Ash, hold on. You freaking speaker.
You have reached Bryce, and we're.
Hi, Bryce.
Hey.
Sorry, my phone was on silent.
No worries. So ultimately, Kouri, I guess I said I support you, right? I can't get involved. I can't get involved anyway, right? Like, I don't have a dog in a fight. But I feel bad for you. I mean, I do. I feel bad that this has to go this way. I wish the Richins would just be easier. That this has to go this way. I wish the Richins would just be easier. But I feel bad for you. I mean, I do. I feel bad.
No problem. Let's
I'll
fix that.
pray for
One moment,
you.
please.
Yes. She had to pull a lot of Hogan, Cat.
Done wrong to them. I've never. I mean, I helped Katie when she had postpartum. I watched her girls. I helped Amy when she lost her mom, and I don't understand what I did so wrong. We've never been super close, but it's like I've never done wrong to them, and I don't understand why they're putting me through hell.
Yeah, you personally didn't do anything wrong, though, but you gotta understand how Eric was, right? When Eric was upset or when you guys weren't getting along, you just call me. Well, he's not calling me. Like I told him, I said you gotta do one or two things, Eric. We're not happy because he's gonna say to me, Brooke, right? Right? Yeah. I'm just divorced. I'm like, dude, Eric, it's easier said than done.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done. You know, he always wants you to get divorced. I would say, dude, if you're not unhappy, you should get divorced.
Yeah.
And his response was, I love Kouri. I love my 3 kids. I couldn't bear to see not be with my kids every single day. I said, I get it. They freaking make it.
Did that happen again? I believe so. I'm so sorry.
When people describe Eric is a great guy. He really is, right? But he also, no one's perfect. And I always tell him, like, you need to relax a little bit. Like, it's funny that
I think it jumped ahead a little when the recording restarted.
Do we need to go backward a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. I'll back it up.
he's out of your end, right? When people do, I get kids,
Yeah.
even the doctor. I said, you gotta do 1 or 2 things there. You're not unhappy. He's gonna say to me, Brooke, right? Right,
Yeah.
just get divorced. I'm like, dude, Eric, it's easier said than done.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done. He'd always push you to get divorced. I would say, dude, if you're not unhappy, you should get divorced.
Yeah.
And his response was, I love Kouri. I love my 3 kids. I couldn't bear to see not be with my kids every single day. I said, I get it. They freaking make it worse. Stop being so hard ass. You know, when people describe Eric, dude, Eric is a great guy. He really is, right? But he also, no one's perfect. And I always tell him, like, dude, you need to relax a little bit. Like, it's funny that Saturday at your house where he was like taking anger management classes. I was like, holy shit. Like, exactly.
I think we're.
Your Honor, it's not published.
Oh, my apologies. Thank you. Okay. And we are now back scrolling correctly, it seems. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just press play against that. Thank you.
I should try to be better because fuck, I needed to do it, right?
No, and that's the thing, guys. Like, we were so good this last 2 years. Like, we have been so good. Like Eric has been he had an anger management book that he would write in. Like,
chat, we're gonna end this phone call, then we're gonna stop because it's 9 o'clock. But we're gonna go for a little while longer.
every couple of days, it was in his nightstand. I'd come home from work and he would be out on the back deck, writing in his anger management book. And we were just good. I was going to counseling, he was doing anger management. We had been so good. Everybody knew it. We were going on double dates. We were going out more. We did weekly date nights. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And now all of a sudden, Katie and Amy are attacking me for no fucking reason. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And
all Katie and Amy ever heard about you was always the bad shit, right?
They did, and
Eric, when things were good between you guys, Eric wasn't calling me or anybody else, mostly Katie and Amy, right? Hey, Kouri did this awesome, she did this awesome, this was great, right?
Yeah.
He would only call the bitch about what you were doing, what you were doing, right? And so I heard the negative shit, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry. And I said, I wish we could have a lifeline to Eric right now, and because I know if he could talk, he would say, no.
Yeah. He would explain it.
Yes. He set things up to protect his kids, but it wasn't saying anything else to try to fuck you. He loved you all the time, every day, totally, you know? And I said, we all fight, but he'd always say, I love Kouri, she's the mother of my children, my wife. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm like, good for you, brother. That's what you have to do, right?
Well, yeah,
I just hate that you guys have to go down this route now because the things that Eric put into place with the lawyer.
And that was 2 years ago. Jesus Christ, we've come so far in 2 years. And it's if Eric redid his shit, last month we sat down and talked about every asset that we had, everything we had. And Eric was like, holy fucking shit. He was just also taken by surprise. He just was that $250,000 is the best thing you've ever done. And I was like, I know, you just didn't believe in me. And, and I was like, and now it all goes to our kids. Our kids are taken care of for life. And if he redid it today, it would be fucking different. And now everything is just so fucked up. It's just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. And every day they're coming at me with something. I'm getting charged with fucking assault. I'm getting charged with,
Your Honor, reproach.
Of course.
All right, Chad. I think we'll see what happens here. Was Eric also a cheater? It sounds like maybe a little bit, but not till the end. Such good Mormon talk. Funny. All right. Let's just skip ahead here.
They have 4 charges against me right now. One is theft of trust property. One is
I want the instruction. Can I have a moment?
Of course.
Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, come on.
movies, quote unquote, and may hear an additional reference or two by Ms. Richins in this recording to charges, quote unquote. Those references are to separate civil litigation regarding the trust, a civil lawsuit. They are not references to criminal charges of any kind. Moreover, you cannot consider those references to civil litigation to prove a character trait of the defendant or to show that she acted in a manner consistent with that trait at any time. Just wanted to make sure you had that important clarification. Ms. Lewis, anything further on that?
Not for now, thank you.
Mr. Blair?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Lewis, maybe continue the recording.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Scott, go ahead.
After conversion of some bullshit I don't even know how to pronounce, like all this shit. And I'm like, Jesus, I haven't been in trouble since I was in high school when I was 16 years old, for hell's sakes. I'm 32. Like, what do you mean I'm in trouble? Like, I didn't fucking do anything. You know, like, I don't know. Anyway, I meant to call you yesterday. I talked to the medical examiner. I called them because I don't believe that they don't have anything. I just am having a hard time believing that.
Yeah, what's taking so long?
Well, she said that, she's like, well, I'll have the actual doctor call you who did his autopsy. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so her name is Pamela Ulmer. And she called me a couple hours later. And I was like, look, lady, like, you gotta have something for me. Like, there's no way you didn't notice something obvious. Like, Jesus Christ, 12 weeks, Yeah. And she was just like, well, yeah, there was something obvious, we noticed, but, we're not going to call you and tell you that immediately. And I was like, well, what, So they ruled out an aneurysm automatically. She's like, it wasn't. Yeah. She's like, it wasn't an aneurysm. I can tell you that. And she goes, he did test positive twice for COVID. And I was like, yeah, bullshit. No. Which we did have COVID a month and a half ago. Like, we all tested positive, but that was like a month and a half ago. Like, he didn't still have fucking COVID.
Yeah, that was fucking everybody had in January.
Like we didn't still have COVID. And she was like, well, his lungs, he had a fungal infection in his lungs. Like, they were completely covered in white spots. She's like, and I don't know what it was. She's like, so I cut 3 of them out and sent them in for biopsy. She's like, but they were so full of fluid and blood. She's like, I have no idea yet what it is. She's like, so I'm thinking between the COVID and the fungal infection that it shut his lungs down. And I was like, no, like that, he is the healthiest guy. That guy is a fucking mountain goat. Like, he could, like, I was like, we just ran a half a marathon 6 months ago and Eric didn't even train for it. And I did. And he beat me by 40 minutes. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with his lungs. Like, no, I don't believe that. And she got bitchy with me. And she's like, well, what do you mean no? And I was like, no, it's not COVID in his lungs. Like, there's just not. There's no way. And I was like, and no offense, like, my husband would roll over in his grave and haunt you and everybody involved if you put him down as COVID. We are very against COVID and vaccines. Like, nope, not happening. Like,
if it was COVID, there would have been signs of him.
Well, that's what I said.
Able to breathe and shit, right? Like,
yes, he wasn't sick. I was like, he was just at soccer the night before. He was running around. Like, he was totally fucking healthy. He wasn't sick. He was not sick. No, I don't buy that. Like, no. I was like, I will call you back in 2 weeks because she said that she sent all of his organs out for testing, a toxicology report, blood, everything. And that's why it's going to take so long. And I was like, okay, well, I'll call you back in 2 weeks when you have more results because that is not what it is. Like, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Dude, the people who have died of COVID had symptoms before.
Yes, they were overweight. They were in the hospital, ICU. Like, he did not die of fucking COVID, lady.
Just remedy.
Jesus.
Like, in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. Like, I would have heard him get up, have a hard time breathing. Bryce, when I found him, he was in the exact same position as he was when he fell asleep. When I rolled over, when I got in bed with him at 3 a.m., like, he was in the same position as he was when I went to bed with him. Like, no, I don't buy it. Mm-mm. Like, keep testing. That's not it. And if she puts him down as fucking COVID, Jesus Christ, I will flip fucking shit. It's not COVID. No. And so I was like, nope, I'll call you back in 2 weeks when you have some more results back because that's not it. I was like, that guy was in better shape than anybody you could ever imagine. Like,
he didn't drink like
he didn't drink. No, he didn't drink. He didn't smoke. I was like, literally, I trained for a half marathon for 6 months. He woke up that morning and decided he was going to run a half marathon and still beat me by 40 minutes.
Fucking hate that you do that.
Yes, it was so annoying. I was fucking pissed, but he still did it. Like, he had better lungs than anybody you would ever. No, it's not his lungs. I don't buy it. So
I wonder if that damn Lyme disease kicked his ass too.
Yes. So she's wondering that too. So I gave her all of his Lyme disease doctor's information. So she was going to reach out to his Lyme disease doctor and contact them and see his last lab results and stuff. And then she was going to look into silicosis because Sylvie actually got cancer and stuff from silicosis, who's one of their main employees, 2 other of their employees, and then Shannon's brother, died of silicosis. But I was like, no, he doesn't have silicosis. Like, I just sent him in for testing 5 years ago and his lungs were 100% healthy.
From all the dust and shit and everything.
Yes. And I was like, trust me, my husband was 100% healthy 5 years ago. Like, his lungs were 100%, and he does not lay stone, nor does he cut it in the last 5 years. Like, he drives around in a truck, lady. Like, it's not, because she was like, what does he do for a living? And I told her, and I was like, but that's not it. Like, he owns a company. He doesn't cut it.
He's the owner. He's not the
No.
the employee.
He's not the main cutter by any means.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just going to look into it. And I was like, okay, you can look into it if you want, but that's not it. And I was like, and it is not his lungs. Like, you have to go with something else. Like, I was pissed when she said that. I was like, he will roll over in his grave. You put him down for COVID. And so she was just, I don't know, kind of snippy after that.
Yeah, I'm sorry you have to go through this. I knew that this was going to get stupid, right? And
Guys, I don't want anything.
I think you're doing the right thing, though, right? Like, you were married to Eric for almost 10 years. You knew the ins and outs of your relationship. I get Eric set things up legally with a lawyer to protect, the company that he had and the 3 boys. The shit was not going right with you two. I get it.
Bryce, did you really think I was just going to screw Eric and take everything he had? Like, why?
No, but he was worried about it, right? Just because, not that you personally, but the people we've known over the years, you hear shit on the media, right? Like, the wife takes his her husband for everything he's got because he didn't do everything the right way, right? And I didn't ever talk about the left. He never told me exactly what he was doing. He told me what he was doing, right? And every time he'd tell me, like, oh, I'm going to talk to a lawyer today, it was because, like, I'm just getting everything set up because I don't want my kids to be homeless. I don't want them to be homeless.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But that was when I said shit was going stupid with you.
No,
right?
I get it. I get it.
And I think if Eric was still here today, and I think he'd change it.
He would.
Unfortunately, it sucks he can't. Right now, Katie has all power. At least Katie has power, not Amy. Who'd probably be worse at it.
It just like hurt. I think it was most hurtful the way that he wrote it, Bryce. Like if you read it, it was just so hurtful the way that he wrote the trust. Like, I get we were in a rocky spot 2 years ago. Did I ever think we would officially divorce and go about our ways? Like, not really.
Hell, he thought that, right?
Like, I guess.
When you see that stupid jet chick, I would tell him, I'm like, bro, like if you're gonna see her, there's gonna be consequences if you get caught. Do you want to be with this chick? Well, no. I said, well, because if you get caught, you're gonna get divorced. What does he do? He gets caught, right? And they kick him out of the house for a week or two. Did he live with his dad for like 2 weeks or something?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Eric was here as a.
Yes, guys, the defense saying the THC gummies weren't THC, but I don't think that's going to work. I mean, there's so much here, she said, that absent some rock star toxicology, they're not going to get that result because so far, like, this is just awful for Kouri. This is awful for Kouri, and she's Dunsky, I think. Guys, so with that said, we are going to stop here. We got to move over to the 9:30 show if you guys are new. We do a show at 9:30 Eastern every night. We're going to head over there and get ready, and I will see you guys over there in about 20 minutes. So until next time, chat, please remember, we'll try to catch up with Kouri Richins tomorrow, because remember, they have no court tomorrow, or we'll get it caught up on Saturday. It really depends. We might do it Saturday. We'll do it pretty quick there. I got to get a hold of Ryan Mullally because there's some big things that have happened with immigration stuff regarding the Trump administration. There's some big Trump legal news to go through. So if you guys are interested, we may try to do that on Saturday if he's available. If not, we'll just be doing some, we'll do a Trump show and dab it up on all of that. But in the meantime, chats, just remember, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. I'll see you shortly, chat. Take care, everybody. I forgot we had super chats. Duh. Sorry. We don't normally have super chats during these shows, so I don't normally respond or remember to get those. So thank you. C3 metal thingies for $2 is N. Load Alaska for 18 months. Thank you for being here. It says I. Imana Rezu. Been here for 22 months, says G. Thank you for being here. Amateur Iconoclast for 26 months. Thank you again for that support, says G. Half Irish, who's been here for 25 months. Thank you, says E. Aaron Hack, who's been here for 31 months. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate it. Says R. IG88 says, no shot, screw your client. They're probably guilty anyway. Well, this one's up for debate. I think we have a good enough argument to make, but thank you. Chugi Show saying for $5. Thank you, Chugi. Said, Canadian, she sounds like she could be from Ohio. Yeah, kind of, maybe, but Yeah. Yeah, if I had super tips, I'd read it for me. And wash my mouth out with my fucking Beretta before I do that. So there you go. Anyways, I'll see you guys, chat. Thank you. I didn't mean to shortchange anybody. See you guys over on the Thursday night show.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law.
Those calls were made right after Eric's death. Kouri was not arrested for Kouri had not been arrested for over a year. So I believe these are prior to her arrest, if I believe correctly.
Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops. Even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick hated yelled at? Why, yes it was, he even knows he's fat. For all this fun and more, there's one place to go. Here on Sean Martin's Potentially Criminal Show.
No, those are recorded by Chelsea. Chelsea recorded all of that because she was sitting next to Kouri.